And welcome to the WAN Show! We've got a bunch of great topics for you guys today. Of course, there was the big global IT meltdown that took place thanks to cybersecurity company CrowdStrike. We'll be talking a little bit about that, as well as just the implications of how hyper-centralized our global IT infrastructure is. It's kind of scary.
It is.
We'll also be talking about an STI screening app that asked people to submit genital pictures for AI screening, or for AI evaluation. That got shut down by the FTC. We'll be talking about that. What else we got?
There's an MMO publisher saying that Intel is selling defective chips, which is rough. And a company apologized to reviewer Golden Sound for threatening them.
Yeah, you
my.
You shouldn't threaten Golden Sound.
Don't do that.
I'm going to give you a golden shower.
What? We just started.
You can't.
Gonna be that kind of show today, folks.
So loud.
Woo!
That's against the rule.
There we go.
Show is brought to you today by Vessi, Ridge, Ahrefs, and Secret Lab, our chair partner. There's also
At least
going
those
to be
shoes are water resistant.
There's also going to be something a little bit special. Ahrefs, excuse me, I pronounced that wrong. I always do that. Ahrefs, there's also a special extra sponsor today. Dun, 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 dun. We're doing it live.
The classic.
We're doing it live.
We're doing it live.
We're doing it live, I think. Wait, I don't
Who's
see
doing
any.
it?
Did anyone?
I have it.
Okay,
I think they wanted you to do some of it.
we're doing it live.
Are you just going to do some of it?
Luke, I already did some of it.
Wait, what? Whoa!
Whoa! Whoa!
I'll explain that later.
You've always been facing me. I genuinely had no idea. That was a fully real reaction. I never saw that. Okay, so you're doing the rest of it.
All right, let's jump right into our big topic this week.
Wow.
Today, the world was struck with an historic IT outage as Windows systems in businesses and government buildings around the globe were sent into endless boot loops. This has led to business at airports and banks grinding to a halt, while hospitals have wound up canceling non-emergency operations and, this one's really awful, emergency hotlines, so 911, even went down in multiple U.S. states. Cybersecurity company Microsoft's got to be sitting there going, okay, this is bad, but at least it wasn't us.
Yeah.
Cybersecurity company CrowdStrike has taken responsibility for the outage, which was apparently caused by a faulty software update for their Falcon sensor security platform. The company has enacted a fix, but, okay, dude, have you looked at the replies on their Twitter?
Yeah.
Okay, I saw everything from people claiming to be shareholders asking pointed questions about how they're going to regain trust and have a functioning business moving forward, to IT managers demanding to know what the compensation is going to be. And if you're wondering why they're so mad, guys, this is not like, roll it back, okay? The fix is in. That's not what that means, but the point is, there is a fix, but unfortunately, it requires the affected computer to be...
turned on. It needs to work, which
needs to be online.
It can't turn on right now because it's boot looping.
Yes,
so you have to have physical access to the machine, boot into some safe mode, and then manually remove files.
Yes. So first of all, the computer has to be online, and then there's the other fix, which they suggest rebooting the computer as many as 15 times might fix it. So that one,
I haven't
okay,
heard
great.
that one, okay.
And then there's the one that Luke said where you can reboot in safe mode, remove some files, and then boot again, be online, and get it fixed.
And CrowdStrike, there was groups before CrowdStrike said anything, I believe, that came up with ways to fix it, which was cool. And then CrowdStrike put out like an official way to do it, which is a little bit cleaner and worked well. But you need manual, in-person intervention. So companies that have outsourced or remote IT are in a pretty rough spot right now.
Yeah, this is kind of scary.
Also, a fun one. Did you see the BitLocker stuff? Is that in here?
No, I heard about it. I have only heard about as much as you just said. Apparently, Microsoft is like nuking BitLocker keys or something like that. Can you elaborate?
So a lot to do with this story is happening kind of live. This is still a little early to talk about it, I think. I've read a decent amount of stuff that has turned out to be misinformation already. This doesn't seem to be one of those things. I'm just warning people that that's true. Also, as with all of these types of topics, there's only so far we can really go into it. I would recommend checking out various people that cover this type of thing more in depth. But the BitLocker stuff, to be able to get into the computer in that way, you're going to need your BitLocker key. A lot of these companies are storing their BitLocker keys on systems that currently can't turn on. So they literally are just stuck. They might even have IT teams ready to come in and fix this stuff in person. They might be ready to go, and there's nothing they can do because they can't even get the computers to the point where they could even fix it because they need the BitLocker keys, and the BitLocker keys are stuck on a computer that they can't fix. So rough.
Linux systems are unaffected by the outage, as are Windows systems in Russia, of all places, where CrowdStrike software is unavailable due to sanctions.
And coupled in with that, effectively it's CrowdStrike. So if you don't have CrowdStrike on your system, you're not affected.
So our discussion question here is, this is kind of like if Y2K actually happened the way that people worried it would. Obviously, on a relatively small scale, because not every organization is using CrowdStrike, I have to confess to you, I was not aware of them. I don't live in that space.
I have heard a data point. I think this came from John Hammond. I heard a data point that was over 500 of the top 1,000 U.S. companies run CrowdStrike.
With that said, Y2K was
supposed to be everything.
You were pretty young when the fear mongering was going on.
Oh, but I was walking around Best Buy when they all had the Y2K stickers and all that kind of stuff.
Y2K was a huge deal. Literally, the FUD that was floating around was that when the clock struck midnight on the year 2000,
Robot uprising.
and every software that had a calendar that was only programmed to go as high as 1999, and then it would just crash. Like literally every computer, unless it was hacksorted to be Y2K compliant, but even then, I don't know, it might break. And all software was just going to stop working. Planes were going to fall out of the sky. Like just everything was going to be absolute chaos and on fire. And this was horrible, but it wasn't quite that.
It wasn't that. I've heard everyone and their mom bringing up the Y2K reference. There's been a lot of people saying the same things about this whole CrowdStrike thing, but hugely impactful. I think it's going to take quite a while for us to actually really understand what the impact was. Because I saw, and you don't know what of these images are doctored or not doctored, but I saw an image of an MRI machine that was blue screened out. There's questions on what is this going to do to global supply chain? Anytime global supply chain is impacted, I know a lot of people might be like, oh, it doesn't affect me. It affects everybody.
Yeah.
From food to standard consumables like toilet paper. We've seen that happen before.
Transportation, everything.
General transportation. Fuel. It's the amount of people that were grounded because a lot of the airlines weren't running. How is that going to impact things? Some of that travel wasn't just people going on vacation for funsies.
Yeah.
It was very important things happening. Southwest, I heard this through grapevines. This is another one of the things where I don't know if it's true or not, but I've heard that Southwest is still up and running just fine because they're still running Windows 3.1. So no problems there.
Here's my big question, or here's my big fear. This was an oopsie doodles.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the implication of that is insane. I think we're looking at what effectively war would be like if it was through large world powers.
Yeah, if we were looking at state-sponsored activity that was not just harassment,
trolling,
digital
fake news,
skirmishes,
harassment,
like what an actual all-out assault on our digital infrastructure might look like.
Because we've often talked about things like power, water, these standard infrastructure things. I don't think we've thought about something on this level before. Another part of that topic is it's often discussed about how the most effective way to deliver malware is effectively usually social engineering. What if you just got a job at one of these companies and then push something? Sheesh, man.
Yeah. So
if it's a I don't remember exactly what, state sponsored, that might be something that's a viable option.
Yeah, and to be clear, we don't necessarily we know enough.
We don't know
to kind of go, that could potentially be plausible or that couldn't, but we don't know exactly what exploits are there. And I guarantee you, what I can tell you for sure is that there are 0 days that large entities have in their back pocket that they are waiting to use. And they are constantly developing new ones as these things get patched and as the holes get filled in. And it is terrifying to think of trying to operate in this modern world if there was a capable, organized actor that was working to prevent us from having access to what is a basic necessity now, like power and running water. Right? It's not like we just got in-home plumbing 20 years ago and the well, still works. And everyone, for the most part, still lives walking distance from it.
Yeah.
We'd be ducks. Ducks that are sitting. That's the word for it, right? Ducks that are sitting?
Sitting ducks, yeah.
No, ducks that are sitting. Nobody says it that weird way you said it.
Someone posted this. Apparently Air India's systems were down, so they started handwriting tickets.
Oh my goodness. I mean, you gotta respect the hustle.
I kind of like it. You gotta do what you gotta do.
So CrowdStrike, do they survive this? Remember, this is America. This is the land of the lawsuit. People are gonna die. Well, they're going to start tallying up.
Yeah, it's going to be billions. I don't know. It's hard to tell.
CW Float says renewals are going to suffer.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
No, this took out the FAA. I'm not.
They apparently lost about 20% of their valuation.
Yeah, their stock tanked pretty hard. I don't know. They're an actually enormous company, but it's not like there isn't other options sitting there. And honestly, it's not like plug and playing some of these other options would even be all that hard. I'm sure companies like SentinelOne, the one that we use, are looking at this just hungry.
This is crazy. Tilt Lord says, did you see the Wall Street Bets post a few hours before the update where a guy was saying CrowdStrike was overvalued and shorted the stuffing out of it? Good job. Lucky job.
Congrats on the yacht.
Congratulations on winning the lottery.
Yeah.
Because that's what you did.
Yeah.
But, wow. Cool. Why don't we do our next topic? Luke, would you like to pick one?
Sure.
Not that one.
What?
Oh, I just assumed you'd want to start the hair dye.
Oh, no.
We'll do that later.
Yeah. Netflix would rather you...
Wait, no.
Why don't you just pick it?
No, I'm not going to pick it. Pick it. What I am going to do, though, is I am going to announce that we have added some surprise WAN show deals to celebrate Lime Day. They are live on lttstore.com now, but we've also given Linus a button to drop other deals throughout the show. Very limited quantity deals.
Do you not know about that?
Make sure you stay tuned for the whole thing.
Yeah.
They showed me a mechanism to do stuff. I haven't looked especially closely at it. So we're going to have some amazing deals coming up. We're also offering free shipping on all orders over $100. So if you're looking for some of the deals that we have going on right now, we've got the Dropout hoodie. Do I have like a sheet that has maybe the things? I don't know. Is there a summary of the deals? Well, I don't know, but Artie put some reviews of the various items that are on sale in here, so I'm going to read those. The Dropout hoodie. When Luke claimed on WAN Show, this is from Tobias, that this hoodie was comfortable, he sure wasn't lying.
Yeah.
It's from a heavier and thicker material than other hoodies I own. It is hella comfy. We've also got the Windbreaker on promo. Kyle R says, even better than expected. This jacket's awesome. It's light and comfortable while being great for wind and rain. It also rolls up small enough for me to shove it in my backpack while at an event, which is very helpful. We've got the button-up shirt. Business look, casual feel, awesome shirt, says Nathaniel M. from Australia. Great feel, comfortable with a bit of stretch, quickly self-ironing, so to speak, as soon as it's washed, you put it on a coat hanger to dry. More colors and short sleeves so I can throw out all my other business shirts. Please, Linus. John W. says, of the RGB hoodie, which is also on promo.
That's a desk pad review. I think someone...
Of the PCMR desk pad. Okay. There you go. Thanks, Artie. Don't worry, I got you. After a month of use, I can say this mat has been wonderful. And of the women's PJ set, Allison W. says, most comfortable PJs. Got them. Nice. All right. Cool. So, so the Windbreaker is 33% off. The Dropout hoodie is 25% off. The button-up shirt is 25% off. The fruit underwear? The fruit underwear is 50% off? Okay, well, Artie's populating this list. Why don't you go ahead and pick a topic while people frantically browse the site. Some of these deals are also limited quantity in addition to the surprise random ones, so get ready. Oh my God. No, I'm still looking at the dashboard from last week, I think.
No, I don't think you are.
What? Really? Dan, how you doing?
We have two people on this. We're good.
How you doing, buddy?
We're doing fine.
You doing okay, buddy?
Yeah, we've got lots of practice.
Oh yeah, I got to start minimizing the whole sections.
Holy crap.
We're doing good.
Okay.
But you're going to be in control on this one.
Are we fire selling
everything?
The thermal pads?
Yeah, no one talked to me about that.
Oh.
Are they on like crazy promo, or are they just a little bit promo? They've been a really good seller. It's a great product, and people were just looking for a reputable place to buy it at a reasonable price. Like there were other places, but they were marked up so high. We were just like, what even is this? So we bought a bunch, and now you're buying it from us. That's right. That's how that works. All right. Why don't we jump into another topic here? Okay. All right. I've got the deal summary for you guys. There you go. On sale right now. $5 PCMR desk pads. That's a write-off. Windbreaker, 33% off. Dropout hoodie. This is an amazing hoodie. Just buy it. Thank me later. Button-up shirt, 25% off. People love our business stuff. Seriously. Like it's some of our... It doesn't... when we launch it, we don't get like a huge spike in sales.
But it keeps selling.
Yeah, just run rate. Yeah. Fruit underwear. So it's eggplant, strawberry, and peach. It's a really, really cute fruit underwear pack. The MAC Address Oxford is 25% off. That's that one you've got right there. It's such a cool button-up shirt. Our PTM 7950 thermal pads, 50% off. The WAG hoodie. That's got to be clearance. That's really aggressive. Okay, 60% off. 2 free XL arches with an MCM desk solution. Sticker bomb bundle. Get 10 sticker packs for I think it's $20. And shape sorter toy plus ABCs of gaming bundle. I'm just going to zoom out here. How do I zoom out? $30. Really? ABCs of gaming book and shape sorter toy for $30. Sure. Okay, why not? All right, topic. Want to pick one?
Sure. Already did. The Netflix one. Netflix would rather you watch ads.
Oh, yeah.
Netflix is discontinuing its $11.99. Nope, I'll call that $12. Netflix is discontinuing their $12 basic ad-free plan in the US and France, pushing subscribers to choose from other options like $7 monthly plan. like a $7 monthly plan with ads, or a $15.50 standard HD plan, or a $23 premium Ultra HD plan without ads. The company saw a 34% increase in ad-supported subscriptions after introducing the standard with ads tier in November 2022, contributing to a record 277.65 million subscribers. Holy,
isn't that wild?
wow.
Yeah.
In the second quarter of 2024, partly due to increased signups for the cheaper plan and efforts to limit password sharing. This isn't a discussion question, but do you think it's going to go back to being not many services other than Netflix? Because as far as I can tell, these other services are not really doing that well.
Yeah, Paramount Plus just ditched the. I think it's Paramount Plus that's not renewing Halo.
Yeah, 2 years. I mean, what a show, though.
I heard it was terrible.
I was excited for it. And then I heard he takes off his helmet. And I literally didn't even look for anything.
Like immediately?
I don't even know. I never watched the show, but I just heard that he takes off his helmet. And I was like, I'm not going to like the show. I just know immediately right then. I was like, it's not a show for me. And not because I don't know. It's just he never takes off his helmet in the game. So if they're doing that, what else are they doing?
Probably stuff that's dumb.
Yeah. So I'm just not going to waste my time. In the first episode. Really? He takes off in the first episode? They probably thought this was going to be some huge payoff for the fans. And it's just no.
Yeah, you don't understand. Master Chief is the guy in the helmet.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing.
Yeah.
He's a space marine in a helmet.
Yeah. Don't take it off. The only time he takes it off, I think you hear him take it off. You don't actually see him. And people, I don't remember if it was on PC or something, they found some way to no clip into the ship that he's in. And he takes the helmet off. There's an animation for it. And there's just another one under it.
That's so cool.
I remember this from forever ago. And I remember when I heard that, I was like, nice. Because now it's still just Master Chief, which is great.
No, it does kind of seem like it's going that way. I mean, Disney has talked about how they're backtracking on the whole, Disney Plus is all our stuff, only our stuff. You can't see our stuff anywhere else. And they're open for business again when it comes to licensing to third-party platforms. And I think Netflix is still the monster. I can't remember if I said it out loud, but I'm pretty sure this is a classic Linus I told you so moment. I remember people talking about how Netflix is cracking down on password sharing, boycott. They're never going to survive the. Yeah.
With almost 300 million subscribers.
They immediately
they'll survive.
Saw a huge boost in subscriptions once they started cracking down on password sharing. I'm a little surprised to see them come back again so soon after getting so many more signups and increasing price. And this is something that I've talked about before on the show, so this isn't going to be a super long topic.
I don't think they increased the price.
Well, they're discontinuing the $12 ad-free plan. That sucks.
But there's a $7 monthly plan.
But that's with ads.
Oh,
yeah.
I see.
No, it's going to cost you. It's going to cost you $15.50 for what you used to pay $12 for.
Sorry, I'm not a subscriber.
And you know what?
I don't subscribe to any of the platforms.
Look, I don't work in government policy. Okay, so I'm sure that there are challenges and there are obstacles that I don't have familiarity with. I'm gonna say that up front, but I do not understand. Given that this is something that basically every living, breathing human with a credit card has experienced at some point, I don't understand how nobody who works within these large governments has ever thought, when I sign up for something and we agree on a price and we agree on a product or service, that should be the deal. You should not be able to unilaterally say, that is not the deal anymore.
Hold on, are they though? I'm genuine. Okay, so how would you solve this?
I would solve this by saying, look, it has to be grandfathered in. You have to grandfather in.
But does that work forever? Like, okay, let's use this in a float plane context, right? So we have grandfather subscribers, and for a long time, we have grandfather subscribers from 2017.
Yep.
Wait, we might have grandfather subscribers from 2016, technically. It's the $3 tier, right? We've never increased it. And I like that. That's cool. That's good stuff, whatever. Sounds cool. But what if it's like 30 years from now?
So here's the solution to that. Because right now, they want to eat their cake and have it too. If they want to have a fixed term on this agreement, then they need to stop fucking charging my credit card at the end of that term.
Okay.
It should be like anything else.
So if you want to update the pricing, you have to cancel all current subscription.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And there's going to be a lot of attrition there because the friction to get someone to re-sign up for something is extremely high.
Here's a spicy question for you.
Sure.
We've talked on WAN Show about how there is a possibility that we'll be increasing floatplane prices.
I don't think that's a possibility. I think that's something that's happening.
And it just hasn't happened yet, which is why I worded it that way.
Right.
And we'd be grandfathering people.
Of course.
Okay. So if you wanted to increase the price on, say, the $3 tier in 30 years or whatever, you would cancel all their subscriptions, but then allow them to subscribe at like a now increased but still grandfather discounted something? Like,
well,
how would you...
I wouldn't do that either.
Okay, yeah.
Because that's lame.
So it's
not cool.
You just grandfather them for literally ever.
Yeah, or if it's not sustainable anymore, then I guess we close down the service. Well, look, it's not like these changing...
It's a different product. It is a different product, but it's very related.
Yeah, it's pretty darn related. Floatplane has a lot of the same dynamics that something like a Netflix does. We pay for bandwidth, we pay for storage, we pay for development, we pay for content production. You guys pay us for all of those things.
Yeah. Like when I mentioned, like, I don't subscribe to any of those platforms, I meant things like Netflix, so like Netflix, Disney Plus, Amazon Prime Video, whatever, those types of things. I do technically, like, I support at least one, I don't remember how many, creators on Floatplane, where I'm technically paying for the Floatplane subscription. That is a thing. And I also I have at least one Patreon thing where I'm supporting a creator. Like, I support creators individually.
Sure.
I don't support the Omega video platforms. They're different.
But here's the thing, right? Like, if they don't like that, it was an option to not do it. Like, okay, look at something like Uber. It's finally, people have kind of finally figured out what the Uber play was. They took a bunch of VC money. They essentially undercut the traditional, and to be clear, there were a lot of problems and a lot of corruption in the cab industry, at least here in North America anyway, and other sort of just like private transportation companies. So they came in, they took a bunch of VC money, they funneled it into undercutting everybody until the infrastructure and these companies decayed to the point of negligibility. And then they jacked up the rates to the point where now it costs me more to take an Uber today than it did to take a cab before they came in and disrupted these industries, right? So they didn't... If they were to come back, 10 years later, right, and say, well, this is totally unsustainable. It's like, well, yeah, but you had an option to not just dump money in...
You were running it unsustainably.
In what is essentially an anti-competitive manner into this to kneecap your competitor. That was totally an option. You could have run the business and built it in a sustainable fashion in the first place. And I get that that's not what your investors want. I get that that's not the Silicon Valley model. But guess what? I don't feel bad for you. That was a choice. Nobody had a gun to your head and said, you have to charge razor thin margins on this and grow your install base at a breakneck speed instead of building something slowly and sustainably. So no, I don't feel bad. I don't care. Yeah, Electrobot says, yeah, same thing, Airbnb. It's more expensive and a worse experience than a hotel now. It's like you're actually a lot of the times better off to go to a hotel where they will clean the towels for you.
Yeah, I feel that way. I'm a flanker said the difference is that yours is in-house without being required to complete multiple compliance in multiple nations. We do actually.
Actually, we do.
We absolutely have to do
Yeah,
that.
and it's like, man, tax is so complicated for a multinational online platform like Floatplane. It's actually a really
annoying.
stupid project that we should have never started.
Yeah. It's kind of sick though.
Hey, now that we got it. Hey, anyone want to license some really cool tech?
I had very good, very intelligent, very connected friends of mine go through a lot of effort to try to convince me not to do it at the time, and I did it anyways. It is what it is. They were right, but we're here now, and it's good, and I like it. Okay, I'm going to continue his message. I'm not crying for Netflix, but they need the ability to change pricing. The cost should absolutely be that if it's over inflation, then you have the ability to cancel without a penalty.
Yeah, but inflation's such an arbitrary number anyway.
Netflix has 0 contract length, so technically you can leave whenever. It's way worse in telecoms. So that was my one point, is that you can technically leave whenever. So like, especially on monthly to monthly, like your contract is really up at the end of the month. If they change, like if you subscribe for a year, and they like change it and then bill your card because they're like, well, we changed our price. That's total BS. If you subscribe for a year and they're like, when it renews, it will be more expensive.
Yep. That's why it's legal.
Yeah.
But what it isn't is cool.
Yeah.
And that's my problem.
It's definitely not cool, but I don't know about it being illegal.
Like, oh man, yeah, sometimes it could be. Do you see the recent kerfuffle over Microsoft and their Game Pass changes? So we talked about this last week, how prices went up and everything was confusing, and they're kind of gating access to the new card.
That should actually, because the
FTC is not impress.
I
right
think
now.
that is good, because when I brought this up during the show, but they announced that it was going to be day one Game Pass for everyone.
Yeah.
And then they pulled that back.
Yeah.
And people might have subscribed because of that. So that's a totally different thing, in my opinion. Yeah. That's rough. That's actually bad.
Yeah. So, I mean, at this point, Activision and Microsoft are like integrated. But the FTC is basically looking at it going, okay, you guys said this was going to be a super huggy-muggy, nice acquisition, and then you came in and laid a bunch of people off, and now you're going back on your promises that this is all about so very much content for gamers, and everyone's going to get day one access to Call of Duty. The big question for me, though, is who the cares? How about just don't play Call of Duty?
Yeah.
Gamers, though, you guys have no discipline. And look, I'm not trying to just
amazing topic transition. Holy! I'm going to interrupt the topic transition because it was so good. That's ridiculous. I know where you're going, and that's nuts.
Thank you.
What the heck, man?
I'm not bringing this up and lecturing you guys for no reason. I'm doing it because a recent survey of 5,000 American adults who play video games found that 82% of them said they had made an in-game purchase in a free-to-play game, not ever, in the last year.
82%.
It is literally, okay, you guys, take your two hands, okay? Take your 2 feet, and you won't need your fifth appendage, okay? You will, yes. And if you have anything else that's pointy, point it. 4 of the 5 things you're pointing at bought a microtransaction in the last year.
Oh my goodness. Oh.
And Salmo says right here, no shame. But it's like we sit here and we complain about the inshiftication of gaming, and 82% are directly contributing. I don't mean directly contributing like they're like passively standing by, or they're pirating games that reject the freemium business model instead of contributing that money to the developers that continue to invest in these games. I am talking giving money to the people who develop programs to extract as much of it as possible, who literally call you fucking whales. I mean, who would do that? Okay, we had an entire LAN event for our whales. We love our whales.
I think it's higher.
Higher than what?
82%.
Oh, that's the ones that admitted to it.
Yes.
Any survey that's like, I don't know how many times.
Got to be over 90.
How many times do you wank a day, or whatever, right? Like it's always gonna underestimate if it's something embarrassing.
Yeah, it's got to be higher than 82.
Some commentators have suggested, I'm back to my notes now, that this kind of data might indicate why the freemium model has become so popular. This is a note. Okay, well, anyway. It might likewise indicate that at least some of the people critical of this monetization strategy are themselves paying into it. Further, around 45% of respondents claimed that they didn't mind watching ads that offered in-game rewards. This is how conditioned we are, Luke.
I don't... the interesting thing to me is like...
We'll just take it.
We've
all been playing Bend Over Simulator, and we didn't even know it.
I've never actually disagreed with all of it. Like, I've usually used League of Legends as a model of like... I haven't played in forever, so I don't know what it's like anymore. But when League of Legends first came out, it's a free game. It was really good, and there was some skins, and they weren't so expensive. I've heard there's some real expensive ones now.
Yeah, wasn't there like $300 one a little while
like
ago?
That. I don't know. But they were like a few bucks or something, and you support the company. And the way that I viewed it was like, okay, look at how much I play this game. Look at how much I would spend on games.
Yep.
I'll buy a few skins to support the company because I actually really like this game, and then I'll keep it at a very reasonable level. That's technically a microtransaction. I'm wondering like, if you ask who has made a microtransaction at all, or who has made like egregious microtransactions, like I wonder if this is different. I don't know. Like even Rocket League, that is a game that I purchased, but I played the crap out of it, and I purchased it for like $4 or something because it was on a crazy sale. So I bought a couple seasons passes because I felt like they deserved it. And then they were bought out by Epic, and I was like, whatever.
Mad Economist says, nuclear hot take. I love free-to-play games with microtransactions. They allow me to sponge off of people who spend much more money on them.
Sponge off of?
Yeah. I like Halo Infinite. I have never given Microsoft $1 for it.
A lot of games,
somebody else paid for it, and I'm gonna play it.
So this is where it gets kind of funny to me.
Enjoy your weird, spiky mohawk, cringe, makes it easier to see your head, cosmetic bullshit.
So I agree with that fully.
Yeah.
I think though, for every game like Halo Infinite, there's and League, there's probably like 4 Diablo, whatever the heck that is, mobile game.
Immortal.
Where Diablo Immortal, where in a game like that, the like I'm a sponge for the people that spend money. You're content for the paying members of this game because they're just going to farm you because you are weaker than them. That's where I start to have an issue with these types of things.
Well, I don't mind the games where there isn't a huge competitiveness disparity. Like in Halo Infinite, I don't feel like I'm at
makes a difference.
I don't feel like I'm at a disadvantage.
No.
And like we've worked with mobile games before in the past, before we tightened up our policies around them, where they are too pay to win, and so we don't anymore.
Yeah. Pay to win is a tough metric in some games.
Yeah.
But pay for advantage, pay to win, whatever you want to call it. Like that being better than other players because you spent money on the game.
Yeah. I think for me, it's less about can you be better by spending more? And it's more about, are you worse for not spending? So if I could also grind and be just as good, I'm fine with that. But if I just can't do anything about it,
or if the grind is unreasonable.
Yeah, because what was it? Who was it that was under fire for having that? I forget what it was. There was like a series
Shadow of Mordor.
No,
personally.
it wasn't that. There was a series of challenges or something as part of their season or battle pass or like I don't even remember. But someone did the math, and there wasn't enough hours. Like if they did absolutely nothing but eat, sleep, and play the game, there wasn't enough hours to like earn the best item. I Apparently it was Battlefront 2. Thanks, Elijah. And that was like, it was like, oh, no, I don't even think it was Battlefront 2. Because Battlefront 2, it was like you could never earn Darth Vader, or it would take like
it was an absurd amount of time.
Like an absurd amount. No, I think it was something else. It was some kind of, was it World of Warships?
I don't know.
It might have been World of Warships, because I seem to recall it being a ship.
The pride and accomplishment quote was Battlefront 2. I think.
Sense of pride and accomplishment.
Yeah.
You do know that pitch worked back when all you got was that the princess was in this castle. Like, it doesn't have to be a multi, hundreds of hours grind. Anyway, what are we supposed to be doing now, Dan?
You're still on topic 2. You got 6 minutes till merch messages.
Nah, let's do it now, because there's going to be a few merch messages to go through today, I feel like.
Sure. Okay, let's see. Hey, Lan, Duke, and Dinus. I work in the post-production house in the film industry, and I think doing a deep dive into the behind-the-scenes of cinemas would be a cool video. Go into DCPs and film delivery.
Super cool, and something that, for some reason, we've never really been able to nail. I don't know what it is. Our audience is super into tech, but as soon as that cool processor or that cool algorithm is in a camera, it seems like people just like they just kind of tune out of it.
Yeah.
Whereas whenever I see an audience that's really dialed into the behind the scenes, to the technology of film production and TV production, it almost seems like they're less of a nuts and bolts CPUs and cores and megahertz, and more of like a lighting and codecs, and like it's a different kind of geek. Like there's an overlap between us and a channel like Corridor Digital.
But it's a different kind.
It's not as big as I think you guys would think. Like we did a video a little while back on one of those motion capture setups with all the cameras, and someone goes inside the like globe of cameras, and it like did fine. And the people who thought it was cool thought it was really cool. And we did that studio tour of speaking of Shadow of Mordor. Help me. What's that studio called?
Monolith?
Is it Monolith?
Shadow
of Mordor.
Monolith Productions.
Yeah, Monolith. Yeah, we did that tour of Monolith, and that was super cool too. But it was relatively niche. Like it didn't perform that well.
Man, was it cool to do though?
Oh, that was
so sick.
So cool. It was
really awesome.
So I don't know that that's something you're going to see a ton of from us. Like we got an opportunity to see one of those big video walls, like they famously used on The Mandalorian for virtual production season 1. And I was like, okay, can we game on it? I'm looking for an angle
that's tie it in.
Where I can tie it into our audience, which is really technophiles, gamers. We have a lot of folks that are really into the enterprise side of IT as well. But at the end of the day, all those things tie back into the IT side of gaming, the IT side of sort of corporate infrastructure. It's IT rather than consumer electronics. And the distinction between them always felt kind of arbitrary to me because my interest has always been in both of them. So I thought, until I went to CES and I realized I actually didn't care about most of it, and I mostly cared about the IT stuff. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I guess that makes sense. Over time, I've grown more interested in it, but you got to understand, when I attended my first CES, I didn't even own a TV. Why would I? I have a perfectly good monitor right here.
I didn't either.
Exactly. So it's just a funny thing where the overlap is not as big as you might think.
I completely agree with that. I will say though, there's a Corridor video. I'm trying to find it right now, but they do this like they like resurrect. I think Dan is going to be able to call it out actually.
Huh?
A green screen style technology that they did with these weird bulbs.
Oh God, yeah, that was amazing.
That was really interesting.
Are you talking about Mary Poppins?
Yeah, the lost Disney technology with the sodium lamps, right?
Yeah.
Sodium lamps.
That was such a cool video.
Wicked cool, even if you're not into cameras.
Yep,
stuff.
very cool.
Yeah. Yeah, so just want to shout that out because that was sick.
More?
Yeah.
Linus, what are your thoughts on the Intel factory coming to Ohio? Your videos inspired me to
Ohio?
pursue Ohio. Why would? Isn't that the one that everybody wants to leave?
I am young gentleman. Saying young gentleman meme.
Oh no.
Skibbity.
Bonkers. Your videos inspired me to pursue a career in electrical engineering.
Hey, that is super
That's
cool.
awesome,
I am extremely excited to see semiconductor manufacturing moving on continent. I think that we are headed into a period of unprecedented global conflict. Maybe not unprecedented, but certainly unprecedented in my young lifetime. Or how would I say this? Not conflict. I'll say uncertainty. We are headed into a period of uncertainty that I have never seen before in my lifetime. That is my revised statement. That one I will stand behind. And seeing us building up infrastructure to continue to maintain our digital independence in the event that things hit the fan seems pretty important to me. And it's because Canada has no money or really much strategic value for the most part.
Everything's declining here.
Yeah, our population keeps going up, but we don't build more houses to put anybody in. So
yeah, why would you really?
That seems stupid to me.
Yeah.
Anyway, the point is that it's good to see our neighbors to the south and their corporate partners, however that relationship, it's complicated, works.
If you did want to have a hat as a country, you might be able to buy us soon. If things keep going the way they are.
I mean, at this rate, NVIDIA could buy us. Never mind. Yeah. Anyway.
True.
I don't think the United States has any money, but NVIDIA does.
They have the ability to have more debt.
Yeah. Anywho, it's a good thing. I'm happy to see it.
Saving up for a backpack, a $10 gift card at a time. Why are graphic cards so big, but you can buy loose CPUs? No build your own graphics card?
Fun fact, that used to be more of a thing. I don't know that I ever saw a socketed GPU, but you could definitely buy graphics cards that had sockets for memory. So you could actually configure them with the amount of video memory that you wanted them to have depending on your application. The challenge is that the same integration that we're seeing take place on mobile right now with CPUs/SoCs, where we're seeing the RAM either soldered onto the main board or even on package, like right next to the CPU die. That same trend took place on GPUs way longer ago because they are so hungry for memory bandwidth that getting those traces as close as possible and getting those cards as integrated as possible was more performance critical than it was on CPUs, or at least it was much faster that the performance advantage outweighed the modularity advantage from a cost and consumer preference standpoint. So graphics cards are big because their orientation makes them extremely difficult to efficiently cool and stay quiet. Like if you put a tower cooler on a GPU, it doesn't need to be nearly as big as these like sideways monstrosities because they're so limited by the skinny fans and the way that the air has to flow through them. It's a lot worse than just flowing straight through like something like a CPU tower heatsink. So they're big for that reason. And then as for why you can't buy a loose GPU, it's because they're just so tightly integrated that there would be nothing you could do with a loose GPU. There are exceptions to that. I believe there have been some tech shops /YouTubers /both that have actually performed some pretty wild upgrades. I thought I saw someone put a 4090 on a 3090 or 3090 Ti PCB. Don't quote me on that, but there have definitely been cases where socket compatible chips have been desoldered and then resoldered onto other PCBs, but that is extremely uncommon. Your video, you did a video on this. No, that was repairing a MacBook, and also it didn't work. It died. It wasn't putting on a different one. I guess we never explained merch messages, and also I have never launched a crazy surprise deal yet. So why don't we explain how merch messages work? You're probably seeing people's messages down here. Dan is replying to some of your messages. We just responded to a few of them ourselves. Let's see, are his fingers on fire? I don't see any smoke, so that's good. We just responded to a few of them ourselves. All you got to do is go to lttstore.com, where we are currently celebrating Lime Day with some pretty wild deals. Here's a little summary for y'all who are just tuning into the show right now. It's Lime Day, baby. Free shipping on orders over $100. Also, we got a ton of deals. And all you got to do is go to your cart. There's going to be a little box whenever we're live, and you can type a merch message, and it'll go to producer Dan, who will reply to it, forward it to someone who can take care of your message, or send it to me and Luke as a curated merch message for us to respond to. So we just did a few of those, and I'm going to give you rude. And I'm going to give you an incentive to try it out. I don't know. Tell you what, Luke?
4.
Oh, all right. He's way ahead of me.
I just guessed.
Okay. We don't have a lot of these, and I suspect they're going to go pretty fast, which is going to be a theme for these surprise lightning deals. Let's call them lightning deals.
Oh.
We found some Swacket V2s. I don't know what kind of sizing mix we have or anything like that in here. Can I check? Can I check our stock? Oh, we do have a little bit of everything. The one that
not a lot of some of those.
Yeah, not a lot of some of them. And we are putting up the very last of the Swacket V2s for 50% off. So that's going to be, what does that work out to? Good gravy.
This is an interesting question. Do you know this, Linus? If the question was from Lumet Man, he said, if he releases multiple deals throughout the show and I want to lock in each one of them, will multiple individual orders be combined for shipping? Do we do combined shipping?
I think that if the order is in North America, we can, and that's our less loss. And if they are outside of there because of like shipping manifests and stuff and import and stuff, we can't.
Okay.
But as long as you add a couple of other things to your cart, then you, if you get over $100, then you get free shipping on the entire order anyway.
No, they're saying they want to catch your deals as you're saying them throughout the show. So they want to do like a bunch of orders. Yeah, you're
going to need to place orders.
Yeah.
I'm not,
you
can't buy every deal. That's not I'm not even going to facilitate that. You know what? No, I'm not facilitating that. No. Anyway.
Yeah, you have to buy every deal twice.
Anyway, the Swacket deal.
80-something
deal is
percent
up.
of gamers do microtransactions, dude.
There it is, baby. $49.99.
Can I pay $5 more to get it in blue?
No.
In blue?
Yeah, I want a different skin.
Oh my god. Thank you for that, Dan. What do you want our next topic to be, Luke?
Oh, sorry, I was stunned by Dan.
I'm sorry.
Let me find one. STI screening app for pics of your dong is shut down by the FTC. A company called HeHealth has shut down its app called Calmara following investigation by the FTC. Calmara purported to be able to use AI to screen your dong pics for signs of 10 sexually transmitted really? 10 sexually transmitted infections with up to 94% accuracy. This happened? Are you kidding me? Notably,
I can't believe you missed this.
No, I had no idea.
This was like, dude, everyone was talking about this in the office this week. This was like the big tech news. Like, forget about CrowdStrike. This was the biggest tech news for us this week.
At least all these lonely dudes aren't going to harass women anymore. They can just send it to this company, I guess.
Yeah.
Notably, many STIs lack any visible external symptoms.
Yeah.
Further, an investigation by the Los Angeles Times discovered that the app wasn't always great at distinguishing between penises and phallic-shaped inanimate objects, issuing a clean bill of health to a novelty cake shaped like a dong. The FTC opened an investigation into HeHealth as making health-related claims without adequate scientific data is very illegal.
Unless you're a supplement company.
Yeah, true. Yeah. The
Sure.
FTC found that eHealth had only tested their algorithm on a limited number of images.
I mean,
Likewise,
good, I guess.
there are a lot of those images on the internet. They probably could have used a bigger sample set. Likewise, a study associated with the app only... How did they test positives? Is like someone on stat? Oh.
on stat, I get it.
Yeah. Likewise, a study associated with the app only claimed it could identify 4 STIs, not 10. The FTC has thus ordered the app closed and all associated user data deleted.
None of this is even the worst part. Do you know about the microtransactions within the app?
No.
That's right. People could buy foreskins.
10 out of 10.
I want mine to be a different color.
Anyway, our discussion questions are
Depends on the STI.
Our discussion questions are many here. Do we really need what is essentially a giant dick pic repository?
Apparently.
Do we not already have
a bigger
that?
one, actually. They didn't have a big enough sample set.
Is chat roulette not enough? Like, sorry, that's a dated reference. I don't know whatever the current random chat with strangers app.
I'm sure there is one
that I'm sure is full of penises.
Yeah.
As
is tradition.
Privacy wise, what if someone submits a picture of someone else's penis? I mean, yeah, that would be. I thought that was part of their pitch for this thing, was that you could submit one that someone sent to you and be like, is it safe to have unprotected sex with this person? It can. Oh man, I mean, they are lucky they got shut down, because if they had gone down by lawsuit from people that
longer period of time,
they got a sexually transmitted infection.
Oh, this doesn't necessarily mean that they won't. That could still happen.
Still time.
Yeah,
dude, my mind is blown.
Can I make a segue off that somehow?
Yeah. Oh, well, we would have been able to segue to this topic from it. A little bit more challenging. What are we supposed to be doing, Dan? What even is this show anymore?
Company apologizes for threatening reviewer. David Stephen, the managing director of audio brand DCS, has apologized to YouTuber and reviewer Cameron Oatley, also known as Golden Sound, following allegations that a representative from the company threatened to sue him over a review from 3 years ago. According to Golden Sound, he was contacted by a company representative in October of last year, alleging inaccuracies in his 2021 review of a DCS product. Oatley asked for further details so he could correct any factual inaccuracies, but didn't hear back from DCS until May of 2024, when he received a list of errors alongside the threat of potential legal action if they were not fixed within 10 days after that delay. Yeah, sure. Oatley claims, however, that none of the listed complaints were true factual errors. Managing Director David Stevens originally refuted these allegations, claiming that the company had not provided a list of
had provided
a list of inaccuracies in 2022, and Oatley failed to follow up on them, and that there was no threat of litigation. Following further rebuttal from Oatley's employer, headphones.com, and internal investigation at DCS, Stephen now says that his initial statement, while issued in good faith, was based on faulty information given to him by someone who now no longer works for DCS. Stevens apologized to Oatley, stating that certain messages sent to him were totally unacceptable. DCS apparently plans to meet with Oatley in person and has sworn to repair their relationship.
Good.
Yeah.
I mean, this is about as well as you can expect something like this to end. I saw this kerfuffle start up, and I basically was like, just let us know what you need. The headphones.com folks are super awesome. We've worked with them a number of times in the past.
Yep.
I think this is mutual, but we feel that our missions are pretty closely aligned to demystifying technology for people, and seeing them bullied like this was absolutely unacceptable from our standpoint. So we're really glad to see that this was hopefully just a miscommunication. And
Golden Sound is here.
Oh, Sick. What's up, Golden Sound?
That's cool. I didn't know that. What's up?
Golden Sound's in Floatplane chat says, thanks for your support with this. Yeah, absolutely.
I saw you do that reach out.
Yeah, we got you. Don't even trip, dog.
Highly respected the approach. I just want to say.
Yeah, well, it's one of those things where there's another one behind the scenes there where they're not ready to talk about it yet because there could be some pending stuff. But we've got their back too, and if it comes down to it, and if this goes public and turns into a big show, then we're in it to win it. So
we're ready.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the discussion question is this a happy ending of a sort? I think so, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, the most that you can do when you do something wrong is apologize,
my bad, let's make it right.
And make it right moving forward. Like, I'm not going to ask DCS to just shut down.
No.
Like, that's not constructive.
No.
So as long as they're moving forward in good faith, then I think that's all that we can really ask for. And thank you very much for being mature enough to investigate, figure out what went wrong, and try to find a path forward.
Yeah, Golden Sound in chat just said, here's hoping this sort of stuff is not something we see more of. And
I think we will.
I think we will, but I also do agree as well.
But as long as tech media has each other's backs, and as long as we present a united front against this kind of behavior, kind of like what happened with Hardware Unboxed back in the day, then I think it acts as a deterrent. It's almost like a unionization of sorts. Like, obviously we're all independent from each other. We don't we don't pay dues into a fund or anything. Like, it's not formal, right? But I think as long as we recognize that we're all on the same team consumer, and we treat each other as such, and we treat manufacturers as such, then I think there's I think there's less risk that this can become a widespread problem.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. I'm going to give you two options for what we can do next. We can either talk about Scrapyard Wars: Rise of Skywalker, or we can talk about what happened here.
Oh man. I think we got to hang them on the hair a little bit and talk about Scrapyard Wars.
All right.
Because I think that's the funniest possible option out of the two.
So, guys, it's back.
When you look from afar, I really don't look that different.
I was thinking about this. I read a comment on it. You can see the reception pretty positive. This just went up a little while ago.
Yeah.
I was reading a comment where someone said, Luke looks completely unrecognizable.
Really?
Linus, I can totally identify.
Whoa, I feel completely different.
And I feel completely differently. And I was thinking about it. And what I realized is that my wife, who I think is very beautiful, has kind of a funny nose. I am not really a nose person. And your only prosthetic
was the nose.
Is on your nose. I am such an eyes person. So coming back to my wife, who I think is spectacularly beautiful, I think she has some of the most amazing eyes ever. And that to me is very important. When I look at someone, I'm looking in their eyes, I'm looking at their eyes. So when I saw you here, I just saw Luke. I didn't even notice. Yeah. And I saw him in person. I didn't even know that you had a nose prosthetic until I watched the video and I watched them put it on.
What's funny is I technically have three other prosthetics. If you look, they call them 11s. So right here, so you can see I have it almost looks like I'm frowning, even though I'm not frowning.
Oh yeah, I guess I have those too. They didn't tell me what they were called.
We have those as well. And then I have fake eye bags, but I told her while she was doing them, I was like, I kind of just have eye bags all the time. So it's like, I don't think this is going to be a big sell. I can't even tell looking right now.
Luke has the Superman disguise, or the fake nose and mustache. No, but for some people, my disguise is great and Luke's is junk. And Luke's disguise is great and mine is junk. And don't worry, guys, this is not much of a spoiler. It's in the thumbnail of the video that...
Yeah.
That's the angle that we've never told the broader audience.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
This, my friends, this was like a dream. It came to me during one of the like film production disruptions. I think it was the writers strike or something like that. I forget, or it might have been one before that. Anyway, I like it was one of those like middle of the night, I need to write this down. This is how we bring back Scrapyard Wars. We add a makeup and effects budget. That's the only way to go back, to reset the clock, because like that's the problem with basically any media franchise is they always have to increase the stakes.
Sorry, I saw somebody, and before we get too far off of just the makeup stuff, Bubbly Charizard said, Luke is definitely obvious, Linus is actually a bit different. My costume goes a little further than that.
Yes.
So it's actually okay.
Yeah, wait till he takes off his pants. He'll see some real prosthetics. Any media franchise
it's not fake.
Eventually runs out of stakes to raise, right?
Sorry, just Dan.
You went too early, Dan. We're going to get him someday.
That always happens.
Oh, no.
Sorry, Luke, you're talking about your giant prosthesis?
I'll wait.
What were we even talking about?
Every media franchise eventually runs out of stakes to raise. The Avengers save the town, then they save the country, then the world, then the universe, and then what? Oh, I don't know, the multiverse, and now there's even more multiverses. I don't know, right? Because and then it sort of becomes so contrived that the stakes don't even feel real. We're going to go into the quantum dimension. Who cares, right? So you just kind of, it loses relatability, right? And I think that's what happened to Scrapyard Wars, is we kept trying to come up with a new and interesting twist when what people fell in love with was a simple mano a mano, who can build the best computer for a relatable, realistic budget on a fixed timeline, and the shenanigans and hijinks that just naturally arise from a situation like that. And so it just like came to me in the middle of the night. Well, we just have to be new people. We reboot rather than try to continue. Yeah. So that is what Scrapyard Wars 9 or Scrapyard Wars 2024 is it's more of like a series reboot.
Why did we ditch the number?
Because the number is kind of meaningless. It's Scrapyard Wars 2024, and then we'll probably change it in a month or two to Scrapyard Wars 9, so that when people are going through the playlist, it makes more sense. But as we're launching it, like the title for this one is going to be this for probably about the first 20 minutes. Because we want to try and get a little bit more momentum from like notification watchers.
Yeah.
And then we're going to change it after that. And then there's another title that we're going to change it to probably a couple months after, once the whole series is out.
This seems good.
Yeah,
seems wise.
Yeah, we're trying to kind of take advantage of that. Yeah. But a couple cool things. Don't worry, no spoilers, guys.
Yeah.
Scrapyard Wars is back though.
Unless you want to watch it.
This is one of our most beloved series ever. It's back for a 9th run. We're going live next week with the first part on YouTube. I don't remember exactly what day it will be, but it is on Floatplane already. And also a throwback, we are bringing back early access on Floatplane for Scrapyard Wars specifically. It's not going to be a full week, and I don't know that it's going to be completely consistent.
Yeah.
But what I can promise you guys is that Floatplane is going to be getting both access to Scrapyard Wars episodes before they are available on YouTube, and it's going to be getting some extras. In fact, there was a Reddit post today. Someone caught an accidental momentary making something live and then unmaking it live. Okay, so you do know about this. There was an extra piece of content that people saw the title, but nothing else on Floatplane today. If you're not familiar with Floatplane, it's do you really watch WAN Show? Anyway, welcome to WAN Show. If you're not familiar with Floatplane, it's our video platform that has videos from great content creators like LTT and TechWiki and Short Circuit. And it's got lots of great exclusives that are not available anywhere else. Extras from our AMD and Intel tech upgrades. This cool series called Closer Look, where the writer is getting into a little bit more depth than we can really get into.
Those are super cool.
In the YouTube video, because something's got to get cut. We've done Dan Week and Luke Week, where we focused in on some fan favorites and talked about, their cars and their hobbies and their birds and cool stuff like that. So there's literally, are there literally hundreds of exclusive videos to watch?
Close to 1,000, I think.
Yeah. So it's pretty awesome. Behind the Design, LTT Stubby Screwdriver featuring the one and only Kyle Therrett. There's so much good stuff over there. Anyway, Scrapyard Wars, sign up. Now's the time to do it. Right. So we're going to talk. What are we talking about? Airing on something. Later today, there's going to be 70 minutes of additional exclusive content with much more coming each week. Today on Floatplane. Do you know about this?
For Scrapyard Wars?
Apparently.
70 minutes? Sheesh.
I mean, I was talking basically continuously while I was in the makeup chair for 4 hours. I don't know about you. So that doesn't surprise me that much.
I was sick for the whole thing. So there was definitely times where I was recouping energy so that I could be more energetic for the camera next time. So I definitely probably wasn't talking as much. But I think I made sure there was some juice.
This time around, we've partnered with the folks at Jawa, and we'll be launching giveaways and other exciting bonuses throughout the run. So stay tuned for more information on that. Their giveaway is going to start when the YouTube release drops, but in the meantime, you can check them out and sign up for Floatplane at the links in the video description. Super excited. Now, what would you like to do next?
I guess we just keep going through. We got to get rid of these articles so we can just start powering through.
Should we do the thing on After Dark? Let's do the thing on After Dark.
What thing on After Dark?
How do you keep forgetting about this?
Oh. It's not.
How do you keep forgetting about this?
I literally can't see it at all.
It's on my mind.
It's completely occluded. Yeah, I mean, let's do it.
No, let's do it After Dark.
Really?
We're doing it After Dark, yeah. Yeah, I'm going to string them
I guess
along.
After Dark doesn't have to be just merch messages.
Y'all just got strung.
It can be whatever we want.
Y'all got a long strung.
Yeah.
All right, let's do a topic then.
What do we got?
Record companies are suing Verizon, and this is like this is a billions of dollars lawsuit here, and they are suing Verizon for not shutting off Pirate's internet service. Universal Music Group, Warner Music Group, and Sony Music are suing Verizon for $2.6 billion in damages on the grounds that Verizon has profited from continuing to provide service to thousands of customers that are engaged in flagrant and repeat piracy. The legal strength of this argument is currently unclear, but it has been tested in another very similar case. A few years ago, these same record companies sued Cox Communications on similar grounds. The court found that Cox was guilty of failing to stop piracy. However, the damages were overturned on appeal because the record companies failed to prove that Cox directly profited from the infringement, i.e., Cox makes more money because it didn't punish its paying customers, but it doesn't make more money from a customer who commits piracy than one who doesn't. If they win this time, this could be crushing.
The biggest sale of VPNs ever.
Yeah. Did I mention, by the way,
PIA?
Our partner, Private Internet Access. Hey, Dan, do we have a PIA link in the video description? If not, please make sure we do. A VPN is...
I just copy paste.
A VPN is absolutely not the silver bullet to your online privacy and security woes.
Oh, we actually do, yes.
Good, excellent. It's down there. But what it absolutely is a way of keeping your ISP from snooping on exactly which ones and zeros are being download-related to your drive and in what order. So it is a great way to prevent something like this from impacting you in the future. What else is there for us to really say about this other than this? Yeah, it sounds absolutely terrible for normies who don't know about VPNs.
Yeah.
MMO Publisher says Intel is selling defective chips.
Yeah.
Alderon Games says that it is switching its Intel 13th and 14th gen servers. And we touched on this last week when I hadn't watched the Level 1 Techs video yet, but we did talk about how Wendell from Level 1 Techs has been talking about how Intel's 13th and 14th gen chips are having some serious problems. Well, Alderon says that they are switching them out for AMD following significant stability issues. According to Alderon, their servers have had extremely high failure rates, which is overwhelmingly due to errors from Intel chips. And I can hear you already asking, why the devil is Alderon Games using Core i7s and Core i9s for servers? That's not as crazy as you might think. It's actually, I still, while Intel and AMD have at times certainly, and especially NVIDIA, have certainly put pressure on bare bones chassis manufacturers and solutions providers to steer their clients toward Xeon and Epic and I don't know what's NVIDIA's branding even. It's not Tesla anymore, but whatever. What's their branding for their GPUs these days? Grid. Who knows? But their enterprise solutions, while they certainly steer them, sometimes those enterprise solutions don't necessarily make the most sense. And in the case of something like a game server, where performance and value might be more meaningful to you than running ECC memory for the utmost instability, it could make sense to deploy just like one use of game servers, or even I think I've seen ones that are like
just like more of
like
them.
four in a 1U, or we looked at, oh man, what was that cool one that we looked at from Supermicro? It was about a year ago, but it was a bunch of just like Ryzens in little like blades. Super cool. Anyway, the point is that it is way more common than you would think to run desktop chips. So let's have a look at what the breakdown is here. In Alderon's testing, the chips initially worked fine, but later deteriorated, failing at a rate of nearly 100%. And you can see here which models seem to be the most likely to be affected, although we don't know what exactly the mix is of their deployment. So the Ks, and this is already something that has been touched on, Ks seem to be experiencing the worst failures. The lower core count, lower clocked SKUs seem to be impacted less. And according to Level 1 Techs, this looks like hardware. We talked about this last week about, Intel could need to do a recall here if they can't figure out how to fix this. Good Lord, what would this look like?
Yeah, no idea.
I don't think in my time as a PC enthusiast, I have seen such a
CPUs are always rock solid.
Well, here's the exception that proves the rule.
Yeah.
Well, no, there's been bad stuff. I thought Coppermine was a huge disaster.
What was that?
Pentium 3. I mean,
That's what I'm saying. In pretty much...
that was before I was in high school. That's 25 years ago.
It's been a decent assumption that your CPU is not really the problem for a long time. Crazy.
Absolutely freaking wild, man. I have absolutely no idea what this would look like, because you got to go a step beyond just, Intel takes the chips back, right? Like that's a recall, right? No. What are they going to issue people in exchange? Like, what are they going to give them now?
Is there an inherent flaw?
There's okay. Like, let's look at it from a couple of different angles.
They can't recall the car, replace the airbag, and give you the car back.
Yeah, I've got my. Let's say I'm an end user customer. Okay, I bought a motherboard from Gigabyte and some Crucial memory and a Seasonic power supply. I've got my computer here, right? And I got this bad Intel chip, and I need a new one. Intel, here you go. You got my chip. Well, now what? They send back a fixed one? Well, no. This is Intel's R&D teams, okay, are working on CPUs that are coming out next year, the year after, and the year after that. That gives you some idea of how long you're working on a chip before it ever sees the light of day. Just the spin-up time, if you watched our Intel Fab Tour, the spin-up time from, okay, we've got the design finished, and now, at least in principle, and now we need a physical one in order to try to power it on, is, I forget if it was weeks or months, but it's a long flipping time because all of the different steps that are required to manufacture a modern processor. For Intel to fix this in hardware, they would. This is enormously costly. They would have to pull teams that are working on future products and get them essentially back on the CPU design of 13th and 14th gen. And even if they did that yesterday, it would be months before they would have a single unit to ship to anyone. And when you consider how much of their manufacturing capacity would have been used over the last couple of years to ship all the chips that they had, it would be months, maybe even a year plus before they could actually manufacture enough of these bloody things in order to issue all the fixes. So in the meantime, imagine you are not a gamer who just bought one chip and put it in your computer and are kind of going, where the devil's my chip? Now imagine that you're a customer like the United States government or Dell. Your expectations are now completely different, and there's a huge cost to you, especially if you're someone like an OEM, like a Dell or Lenovo or HP. The cost to you of these systems that you've designed around this now defective part is monumental. Good luck, Intel.
It's going to be rough.
Yep. Intel is currently working on a fix for the ETVB bug it says contributed to the instability, but there's no indication that the company has a fix for the root problem, says the last of our notes. Well, sheesh. Cool. I mean, I guess, yeah, one option is they can just keep sending you more of them as long as you're under warranty, and then hope that everyone's warranty expires at some point, and that this doesn't leave too bad of a stain on their brand. I think
it's a pretty big stain on their brand.
I think that's probably more realistic. And the stain on the brand to consumers is not the one that I'm worried about if I'm Intel. Like, yeah, sure, whatever.
The amount of cares for consumer sales right now has never been
that, and like gamers already mostly kind of hate them anyway. So
yeah,
realistically, what difference does it make?
Yeah.
It's the brand, it's the reputational damage with the Dells and the HPs and the large institutions that I'm really worried about, because a big part of why Intel has managed to maintain the kind of, for example, server market share that they have is because you never get fired for buying Intel.
Oof.
Not because their performance has necessarily been better. There are other reasons. Intel makes investments that AMD traditionally hasn't because they haven't had the resources for it in terms of deployments and management and stuff like that. But a big part of it is you don't get fired for buying Intel. And now you might.
Yeah. In other news, PS Portal still selling like gangbusters.
So can I have a Linus was right moment?
I think you get it.
Yeah.
I think you get the point. You get the little token. Linus was correct.
I don't know. People are still mad at me about it.
I'm sure they are. Recent sales figures indicate that the PlayStation Portal is still going strong 8 months post-launch. It has even beat Sony's own projections to the point that it's the best-selling video game accessory in dollar sales in the US for 2024 so far. I don't believe that.
Yeah,
There's
in dollar
no
sales.
way.
The thing's $250.
Controllers.
Yeah, but it's $250.
Controllers. That's 2.5 controllers.
Okay, tell me this. How many controllers did your friends have for their consoles? You're an adult, right? Like,
I'm trying to think.
A lot of console owners have one controller, Luke.
Yeah. Not anymore, but you said, I think you're referring to like before.
And there's so many options for controllers now. Not everybody buys a first-party one.
SKUs are different.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, $200. Sorry, $200.
That still seems kind of nuts.
I'm Canadian. I don't know how much things cost.
Yeah.
What could one controller cost, Luke?
Okay.
$120.
Okay,
Doesn't it cost $79?
No, that was a banana reference.
This is a side tangent. Okay?
Arrested Development.
Yeah, I remember now. Yeah.
How frustrating is it as a Canadian how much more difficult it has gotten to just navigate to the American version of a web page? Drives me flipping crazy. Valve.
Oh, you're in Canada? You must want this thing.
No, I am making a video and I want to know how many bloody freedom units people have to spend in order to get it.
Oh, I see you manually navigated back to the American site. That must have been a mistake. No problem. Here's the Canadian site for you again. Leave me alone.
Best Buy.
Yeah, I've had that problem with Best Buy.
Kren says, another VPN plug opportunity, LMAO.
Hey! Not planned, but there you go, PIA. Sony also appears to have worked out the supply chain issues that led to the Portal recently running out of stock, so that's good for them, I guess. In the past, Sony has alluded to potentially adding cloud gaming functionality, but there is currently no confirmation that that is the case.
So, anyway, let this be a lesson. Sometimes, and I didn't buy a PS Portal.
No.
I don't even have a PlayStation 5.
Yeah.
But sometimes when you review a product, it's helpful to put yourself in the mindset of someone who might be considering it in the first place. So when we gave a positive review to the PS Portal, while also acknowledging and complaining about some of the things that bothered us about it, like how locked down it was in the context of someone who cares about the PS Portal, not the context of someone who wants another Vita, because you aren't getting another Vita. What you're getting is a Portal, and you can either like it or not.
I know like 3 people that have PlayStations. They all have Portals, and they all like them.
The good news is that even in spite of the haters, we won the battle for PS Portal. We are the #1 video for the PS Portal.
Got them.
I think there is one that has more views.
Wow, those
than
are
us.
2 really similar thumbnails.
These 2 right here? Oh yeah, look at that.
Wow.
Oh, that's both from the same person.
Oh,
That would explain it.
that's very reasonable.
Yeah, there you go. This is cute. I actually don't necessarily browse other people's thumbnails that often.
Oh, GameRanks is great.
Yeah, there's not really a lot of buzz around. Yes, this one. This one was like a month earlier than us. It's a really good video, and it was that video actually that was part of our conversation about why we should not accept Sony's sponsorship for the PS Portal. So Sony, this was for the first time ever. I don't think they'd ever offered to sponsor us before, but maybe they did their research and knew that I was an advocate for and I was an enthusiast about remote game streaming, and they reached out to us. And part of the conversation was, hey, we think this could be a pretty controversial product among our audience, and our take is going to be positive in a way that some of them might get mad about. We certainly nailed that one. And so if we take the money and say, hey, it's the same video we would have made anyway, they might not believe us. And considering how many people thought the video was sponsored, even though it wasn't, I guess we kind of nailed that. But another part of it was that we were getting it too late for a sponsored overview to be of any value. Yeah. Because of this video.
That makes sense. Yeah.
This video was so good that we were like, okay, in order for us to really add anything to the conversation, we're going to have to get...
You just got called out?
Deeper into the nuts and bolts. Oh, who'd I get called out by?
Whiskey Nerd 88.
Who's Whiskey Nerd 88?
They sponsored your setup in a storage container.
That's true.
Got him.
I blocked that video. And that was... okay, so... Working with companies like Sony can be very complicated. So that was Sony's home audio / consumer electronics division, which as far as I can tell, operates like a completely different company. We, you know how that video came out shortly before the launch of the PlayStation 5? Oh man, this is all coming back to me now. That video was shot before the PS5 came out, but I believe it was released after the PS5 came out, and it has a PS4 in it. And we tried to get them to delay it so that we could,
But that division didn't care.
Didn't care and just wanted their thing out. So yeah, I forgot. But what I said about Sony was still true as long as we mean that part of Sony.
Ah, nice. I like the
Sony PlayStation.
All right. Yeah.
Has never engaged with us sponsored wise. Mikhail says, it's still Sony. Come on. It can't be that much of a different company. They ultimately answer to the same top-level higher-ups. You are so wrong.
Yeah, that's actually kind of nuts.
Yeah,
Samsung makes tanks.
Yeah, there you go. You have no idea.
If I remember correctly, Samsung makes like tanks and toilets and insurance.
I guarantee you that a worker on the line of Yamaha's piano division doesn't give two shits what is going on in the freaking motorbike division. Yeah, it's just these companies, you guys, are unfathomably large. Like it's always funny to me to hear us described as a large company. Occasionally this topic of conversation comes up, whether it's in the comments or Reddit or chat or whatever else. We are nothing. We are actually nothing. We are, what does that work out to? We are 100 people. So we're 0.01 of a Sony. Is that right? Am I doing the math right?
It sounds right.
Yeah. No, we're 0.1. We are 0.1 of a Sony.
We have 100 people. Don't we have slightly more than that?
Slightly more, but they also have slightly more than 100,000. So I think we're doing okay.
Sure. And that was back in 2023. So if they hired, they might have more than that now.
Yeah. Yeah, we're 1,000th the size. Anyway, congratulations on your PS Portal success, Sony. Thanks for reaching out about the sponsorship. We actually would have loved to work together with you on it. It just might have been better if we did it earlier so that it was more of like, hey, Sony sponsored this. It's a preview. It's all their talking points anyway. And we wouldn't have had to worry about our like sponsored preview going up against a full review that I forget what the channel name was again, but they did a really great job of. And we had to really dig deep to add to the conversation.
Sorry, I think this might really help your point, so I'm going to bring it up. Apparently, Sony has sued themselves before.
No way. No way.
The only company to own a major computer manufacturer, major electronic business, Sony's,
has been insulted by its own trade associations and has even sued a company that Sony itself had invested in. Oh my goodness. Cool. That's hilarious.
That's kind of amazing.
YouTube pulls the rug out from firearms content creators. I am sure you have some thoughts about this, so I'm going to do the read, and then you're going to tell me what you think.
Sure.
Google has updated its community guidelines regarding the depiction of firearms. When this was announced earlier this month, Google said that starting July 18th, it would prohibit videos demonstrating how to remove safety devices from firearms and age-restricting videos showing automatic weapons or homemade firearms. However, according to Greg Kinman, who runs the popular gun enthusiast channel Hickcock45, his YouTube rep says that a previous ban on content selling firearms has been expanded to any content sponsored by the firearms industry, meaning that he has had to take down a large number of videos from his back catalog in order to avoid a channel strike. Many, if not most, popular gun content channels have some form of relationship with the firearms industry, including companies providing ammo and sample firearms for testing, as well as direct sponsorships.
Ammo is really expensive. That type of partnership is really common in this space. Also, a lot of firearms YouTubers are almost exclusively sponsored by companies in the firearm industry. Especially, there's one, I don't remember the name of it. It's like a gunsmithing company or a university or something. Yeah. Sonoran Desert Institute, I believe it is. They sponsor like a bunch of stuff. I'm sure that is still included in this, because I'm sure a gunsmithing university is considered as in the firearms industry.
Well, and if they're gating depictions of homemade firearms. I'm certain any kind of smithing of anything is going to be...
No, it would just be a sponsor, so they don't show
No,
it.
I understand.
Yeah,
I just mean clearly they have manufacturing of firearms in their crosshairs.
I didn't see where that was going. I knew you were going to do a pun of sorts, but I didn't see
no
that
notes. No notes.
But yeah, this is going to be very tough. YouTube has come for firearms creators on YouTube many times, changing what type of content they can have, changing the size of the magazines, changing can you show full auto or not, can you show bump firing or not. All of these different rules over the years have expanded many times. I don't think they've ever come for their monetization before. I think this is the first time that they've gone for their monetization.
What are they supposed to do?
It really feels like YouTube doesn't want them.
But like, where are they supposed to go? Like,
it's not
like there haven't been attempts to make firearms tube.
Yeah.
And it's not like this is the first time that a firearms creator has looked at the situation on YouTube, especially with respect to monetizing their content, and gone, wow, this is untenable. I mean, we have one actually really great firearms creator on Floatplane.
Yeah.
But it seems like this is a major escalation.
Two firearms creators on Floatplane, but yeah.
Oh, who did I forget about?
The TGC.
Oh, sorry. It's
okay.
The Gun Collective, that's right. But this seems like a major escalation.
Yeah, and people are shouting Floatplane and Floatplane chat, which like I appreciate it, but we're not YouTube. We're not a YouTube competitor. It's not.
We never have been,
and it's not the same thing.
People seem really confused about what Floatplane is. I would say it's more of a Patreon competitor, but with actual like video.
Patreon has video. I would like this. I think our video is better, but Patreon does have video. I say that we're video focused.
Sure. That's a nice way of putting it.
Yeah. But yeah, there's been, YouTube's a monopoly effectively. Nobody can really compete with them. And if you make people are saying that a bunch of creators just launched one called pepperbox.tv. I wish them the best of luck. I don't think it's going to work.
They're going to discover it's really hard.
Yeah, it's really hard. It's really expensive. And people come to YouTube for a variety of things, not usually just one thing.
Yeah. And it's the discoverability of YouTube that allows it to hit that critical mass that makes ad-supported tenable.
So apparently Hickok posted an update, and it apparently only prevents from linking to their sites, not the actual sponsorships, which is going to hurt those sponsorships a lot. Yeah,
it'll hurt. Okay, that's less bad than I thought.
That is definitely less bad, but that kills the tracking.
But like, and the other thing too is, you remember how much we freaked out back when YouTube seemed like they were, you remember this? Right before we moved to this office, YouTube sent out that deck.
Oh, yeah.
Where they were telegraphing a move where they were going to crack down on third-party sponsorships.
All of them. This was terrifying.
Yeah, this was really scary. And so I can 100% relate to what firearms creators are feeling, even if they're still allowed to accept sponsorships, because the rules back then were that basically it looked like someone at YouTube had decided they wanted a piece of the direct sponsorships that were happening to YouTubers. So they put these draft rules, I don't know what to call it, but essentially I got this deck that laid out what the restrictions were going to be on third-party sponsorships. We weren't going to be allowed to show logos. We weren't going to be allowed to have link backs. Or if we wanted to have those things, the sponsor through YouTube had to buy out like the complete inventory of either that video or the channel during some period of time. Like essentially they were inserting themselves between creators and their direct sponsors. The whole thing ultimately went nowhere, but it was the tipping factor for me that made me sign with Vessi. So that was the precursor essentially to Floatplane that was run by Jason Kilroy or something like that. I forget his last name, but he's like a Silicon Valley investor majig kind of guy. Kilmar? Ex-Hulu, that guy.
I don't know.
Yeah. Jason Kylar, I think. Anyway, that was the tipping point for me that made me go, holy crap, no sponsor is going to want to pay for a sponsorship where I can't put their logo or a freaking link. How am I going to deal with this? How am I going to monetize my bloody content? And that was what made us go to Vessi, where they offered us an upfront payout because they were trying to court creators and bring them onto their platform to do early access. And that actually paid for a sizable portion of the renovation that we did here, the tenant improvement that we did in this building. So it's a bunch of ancient LMG history, but
the lore.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, the point is that I 100% relate to what these folks are feeling right now, and I wish I had a solution for you, but I think that building a platform is going to be really challenging because what makes ad-supported work is volume. And we've seen attempts in the past, good attempts from smart people that didn't work out because
YouTube is impossible to compete with.
You can't build that kind of volume up. And the other two major models, right? There's the all-you-can-eat model, like a Netflix, where you pay a monthly subscription and then you watch what you want. I've never seen that work either, because on something like a Netflix, it works because you've got hundreds of content pieces, right? That hundreds of millions of people are watching. So you've got this extremely high concentration of interest in the content. The challenge that happens when you try to build like that, but YouTube, is you've got hundreds of thousands of pieces of content, and then you've got, on average, maybe dozens of people watching each one. So the hosting costs go way, way up. Also, people's perception of that kind of content tends to be lower. People will pay more for movies
people are
than
pointing
YouTube
out
in a lot of cases.
Platforms that are succeeding, but every single example that they're giving are platforms that are not free to access. We're talking about free to access platforms. Any competition out there, including Floatplane, that is not free to access is not competing with YouTube. It's not happening. YouTube is free to access. It's a completely different ballgame.
Yep.
Your view counts, your user counts, everything are going to be astronomical on a free to access platform compared to a not free to access platform. Someone said TikTok. TikTok is not the same thing. But it's a closer competitor than something like a Floatplane or some of the other examples that people have been putting out there. And yeah, it comes from an mind-bogglingly enormous Chinese conglomerate. That's what you need in order to compete.
Yep. And like the thing you got to understand is, like, in the creator space, there are platforms that have an all-you-can-eat model, but what they also have is supplemental revenue streams that are not simply people directly paying for that platform, directly watching those videos, and sustainably operating that way. It's not that simple. As for the final model, which is like the more Patreon-like model, which is what we use on Floatplane, where you pay a creator directly, the advantage is that it makes it sustainable for the platform holder. We could run Floatplane forever because people are paying anywhere from the OGs who pay $3 to our, I'm so grateful for these folks, to our LTT supporter plus contributors who pay $10 a month or $100 a year. People are paying a substantial amount of money that goes directly to the creator, so you can have a couple hundred or, optimistically, thousands, or in our case, tens of thousands of people contributing there, and it really moves the needle and pays staff and pays to keep the lights on. But unless people are contributing those significant amounts of money, it doesn't actually make that big of a difference, right? Like if it's less than a few dollars times 100 people, like think about it, right? Like if you're paying $5 and you're watching 10 different creators, each of them at most is getting 50 cents a month. But also the platform needs to be paid for. So these numbers start to get vanishingly small the more people they're split across. So that's why that Patreon model works. That's why we can sustain the site. So I really wish them luck, and I want them to succeed. Like, yeah, go for it. And the good news is building a video platform today is a lot easier than it was when...
Way easier. And I mean, we talked about this back in the day. I don't remember how the math works out, but it's like, I'm sure you've heard me say this quote. I think it's like every 3 years, things are 3 times easier to make when it comes to stuff on the internet. I think this is a conversation we had back in the day about how like we're starting this now. It's easier than it would have been 3 years ago, but it's 3 times harder than it will be in 3 years, whatever. It's been a long time since we started Floatplane. Starting from scratch now, it would be a joke compared to what we originally had to do. We'd also know to not do certain things like streaming. Oh, but that's okay. So yeah, I don't know. It's way easier now. It's also expensive and really annoying and takes expensive employees and stuff like that. So it's a tough undertaking.
Bambi on Floatplane asks, how long was Floatplane in the red for? Floatplane was never in the red. You guys incredibly contributed to us right from the outset when all we had was a rudimentary file download on the LTT forum. I also want to make sure to shout out the early members of our team, like Alexandre Jacques Saint-Jacques, who were
legendary name.
Instrumental in keeping the platform up and running on a shoestring budget. We pay him properly now. It was really desperate times. It was a really scary time. Vessel was a significant portion of our revenue.
His first payment, if I remember correctly, was a thank you monitor. I think we shipped him a monitor. He was a
That's amazing.
He started as a volunteer on the forum.
We were a much smaller company then. I would just
we had 10 people or something.
I would like to make it extremely clear that we take a very principled stance these days on compensate. Speaking of which, Dan,
yes,
send me a bloody invoice.
Yeah, sorry.
Dan,
just pay the invoice that I sent you.
I'm not going to pay that one. Okay.
You need to pay. No.
Dan did. I
have service levels.
Dan did some contract work for me to help me with my sister's memorial. And I appreciated Dan helping with that because it was a lot easier for me to have. I actually pulled in Brandon Lee. It was a lot easier for me to have people that I was familiar with as the video crew that I wasn't comfortable talking at all, but that I would feel more comfortable with than having strangers there that I have to coordinate with anyway. The point is that I told them explicitly, because this is one of our core principles, is that people should be paid for their expertise and they should be paid for their work. I told both of them, I do not want a discount. I'm asking you guys as a friend, not because I believe friends should get discounts, but because I believe friends should compensate each other correctly. Okay? And I told them to both to bill me properly. One of them managed to follow my simple instructions at a time when I really don't want to be following up with people about this kind of bullshit. And one of them didn't.
So this is why I'm upset. And it's been sitting in my inbox for a while, and I don't particularly know how to discuss it with you because
I guess we're doing it live.
Yeah, because I thought you trusted me to understand your wishes and bill accordingly.
I believe that you spent more than 2.5 hours on that.
Pre-production is included in my price for that type of service work.
I reject your rate then.
Okay.
And I substitute my own.
All right. Well, I mean, what do you want? The pre-production rate with own equipment and travel time?
Let me put it this way. Yeah, absolutely. You should include travel time. No, time. The time should be billed out per hour. And travel.
It's my rate card.
Well, I don't like it.
Okay, fine. Jeez.
All right. Thank you, Dan.
I will give you the other rate card.
Give me the you rate card then.
All right, fine.
All right. Okay.
Fine.
Thank you, Dan. By the way,
this guy, he's too fair.
I would like to tell you I appreciated your help. And it meant a lot to me. And
it was an honor to be able to be there and to be trusted to be there.
Well, I appreciate you. Send a proper bill. Okay, what were we talking about?
I feel like you guys need a handshake or something.
No, that's fine. I'm misty. No, it's okay. I'm misty-eyed. Yeah. I'm going to go back to merch messages.
What were we talking about?
We were talking about the forum and Floatplane being hard to start up and stuff. I have a story about AJ that I love. when I hired AJ so that we could stop paying him in monitors. And
I think you mean monitor. I don't think we sent him more than one.
Yeah, I think we only sent him one. When I hired AJ, that was the first person that I had like completely solo hired.
Hold on. Before you tell your story, I just want to say it was a big sort of glow up moment for me when we could bid adieu to barter deals and like paying people in GPUs and monitors and you know whatever else. Like for me, it's a point of pride that we can pay people money. That we worked hard to get there. So that's why this means so much to me. Anyway, carry on.
Yeah, and I mean, we didn't, at the very beginning of the Flowplane project, we didn't know what we were going to do with it. And then AJ really made it a thing that we could actually really do professionally. And then that's when we were like, oh, okay, well, I guess we should like hire people. Because like we didn't know that we were going to make it a thing at first.
We had no idea.
It wasn't even called Flowplane. It was called Rip Vessel when AJ joined. It was mostly a joke. We were just trying to like do something.
Well, it wasn't that we were trying to do something. It was we needed to do something.
Yeah. So when I hired him, because I had like been a part of hiring groups for hiring other people. Like there would be like 2 or 3 of us that would work on hiring a person or whatever. I'd been a part of that, but I had never soloed one before. Yeah. So when I hired him, I remember I realized like it was kind of weird that he had never talked to Yvonne. Do you know this story now? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I have a vague familiarity with this.
So you're
talking about his onboarding, right?
I called AJ and was like, I think we were talking about something. Then I was like, hey, you should talk to Yvonne, by the way. And he was like, okay. And then I just handed my phone to Yvonne and was like, here, this is AJ. I just hired him. And she was like, hi? Probably one of the most awkward conversations I've overheard, like, ever. Neither of them knew what to say at all. The hiring was already done. There was no interviewing that needed to happen or anything. She eventually had the phone back and I was just like, well, I'm sorry. That was really awkward. It was completely my fault. It wasn't either of their fault at all.
And it wasn't because we were like trying to do a bad job.
I just never done it before. And I was like, I mean, it's at that point in time, it would have been pretty weird to like join the company and not talk to Yvonne.
It turns out you're not born knowing how to do things. Yeah. And it's not because in bad faith we tried to screw things up. It's because we're new at this, right?
Yeah. Because like it was always like we've talked about this a bunch of times. Yvonne always did a huge amount at the company, but she was very behind the scenes, so a lot of people didn't know. So like he was gonna need to interface with her a lot.
Yeah.
So like I wanted them to touch base, but then it wasn't the right time, and it was the worst possible intro. Anyways, yeah. What do we got left?
I think we're supposed to do sponsors real quick here.
Okay.
Why don't we jump into that? The show is brought to you today by Vessi. You might have wasted lots of money on useless stuff, like Charade. Did you watch his AMD upgrade?
I did, yeah.
Oh my God. You could buy something practical from our sponsor, Vessi. I promise you that Vessi shoes are more stylish than gold grills. Plus, Vessi advertises that they are very waterproof. We have a lot of Vessi lovers here at Linus Media Group. Dennis has been wearing Vessis on his trips in Asia. They're perfect for unpredictable weather. They're breathable, light, and stretchy thanks to their Dymatex technology. So if you have any intention of touching grass this summer, check out their Stormburst low tops, which have extra traction for your wildest of adventures. Rain or shine, here or there, it's always a great occasion to wear a pair of Vessis. Go to vessi.com/WAN show and you can get 15% off your first purchase. The show is also brought to you by Ridge. Feeling down? Our sponsor, Ridge, is here to light up your life, even in your darkest of hours. No way. Oh. No way. They have a glow-in-the-dark wallet in collaboration with NASA?
Wow.
The collection not only has the classic Ridge wallet, but also includes their handy key cases, a favorite of ours over here at LMG. They're made with the same materials as their wallet, and the key case will keep all your keys secure in a small profile. And you can rest easy because both the wallets and their key cases come with a lifetime warranty. With over 80,000 5-star reviews and a 99-day risk-free trial, you can send it back for a full refund if you don't love it. And WAN Show viewers can even get a discount. Use code WAN to get 10% off your purchase plus free shipping. We're going to have them linked in the video description. Finally, the show is brought to you by Ahrefs. Does your online store feel as deserted as my birthday party with no one showing up? Okay.
Aww.
Hey, Dan. Dennis.
Oh.
No, we're pausing this. No, we're pausing
His
this. You go
family
back-
didn't even come.
No, you go back to the. No, go back. I'm ripping it away. If I
That's
held,
not what his birthday party like, because he didn't have one.
if I held a birthday party, which has always felt like a bit of a weird thing to throw for yourself as an adult, if I threw a birthday bash, Luke would show up.
I would. I would be there.
Anyway, okay, you can go back to your thing, Dan.
You're supposed to throw them as an adult.
It's time to make your site feel a little more popular. You can boost your site's foot traffic by enhancing SEO with Ahref's webmaster tools, and it's free. The process is simple. First, use Site Audit to crawl through your site for the overarching issues that are holding it back. Then use their tools like Page Explorer to dig through the details with advanced filters and see what's working well and what could use some help. Next, use Site Explorer to research organic traffic and make sure your site is making proper use of keywords. And you can even get access to the world's largest index of live backlinks so you can see where your clicks are coming from. Don't wait. Join the party by clicking the link in the description and improve your website's SEO performance for free with Ahrefs Webmaster tools. All right. I mean, yeah, that's fair. Who else is gonna throw your party if you don't do it for yourself? But I don't know. I always just I don't know. I just stopped. I don't like gifts giving. And so if I don't throw a birthday party, no one will give me a gift, and then I won't have to give them one. I also don't get invited to anyone's birthday parties, though. So I guess that's my social isolation strategy right there. This too can be yours.
I genuinely can't remember the last time I had a birthday party.
Yeah. That's how you know you're old.
Yeah, pretty
Got
much.
him. Okay, merch messages. Dan, hit me. Oh, wait.
Not that you shouldn't do them. And I actually enjoy going to other people's.
Before we do it, Luke is going to pick a random number between 2 and 7.
But did you move the one that I picked before?
Yeah, I deleted the row.
Smart. 4.
I can't tell him it's not random. Technically, random could be the same number every time, but really? What a guy. Okay. Oh my God. Well, okay.
What is it?
It is 82% off short circuit sweatpants.
Whoa!
They are going to be $11.
What?
Absolutely everything must go. However, absolutely everything isn't really that much. I think we've only got about 100 units. So this is just one of those...
What the heck?
Blow it away, write off, do it. I wouldn't wait much for this. Okay.
Where are they?
Dan,
I'm having a hard time today finding our stuff.
They're on the site somewhere.
Because when I go to pants...
Bottoms. They're not like pants. They're sweatpants.
Pants.
Yeah, they're pants. Well, I don't know.
Sweatpants.
Don't worry about it.
There's other sweatpants in the pants section.
Yeah, I can't find them either. I'm sure someone will find them. They'll buy them. All right. Yeah, we have some work to do. We know, but
are they not on the store? And this is found stock.
Oh, that might be it. Actually, that makes sense. That actually makes a ton of sense. All right, Dan's gonna hit us with one, but I'm gonna run to the washroom real quick.
Oh, this is perfect. This one's for Luke anyway.
Perfect.
How is Final Fantasy VI coming along?
Oh, I already answered this.
What?
I've had a very busy professional life.
That's a cop-out
for the last
excuse.
little
You
bit.
suck. Why
It's
do you hate
not.
Floatplane?
It's not.
Is it because they all use Firefox?
I use Firefox now. Were you there for that conversation?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
All right, moving on.
I use Firefox for...
Okay, I got another one for Luke.
Okay, fine.
How much do birds factor into your diet? Our cockatoo likes eating everything I eat, and I find myself eating more fruit and veggies because of it, so I can share. I joke she is my
cute.
diet bird.
That's good.
That's adorable.
And also cute. Not at all, because my birds don't eat anything that I eat. I think budgies are more skittish than... Did you say cockatoo? I think so, yeah. Are more skittish than that. They're sold out already? Wow. I mean, $11 sweatpants. Yeah, that's not surprising. Yeah, but they don't eat anything that I eat. I will say, however, that our kitchen is right by where our birds are, so we can't cook. Well, we don't really want to cook while they're out, or not covered up at the very least, because of if we're cooking stovetop or something, fumes, smoke, whatever. So there's more meal prep going on than there has been in the past. I guess that has affected the diet a little bit. Yeah.
Okay, let's see what else can I do here for Luke. I see. LDL. I'm a DigiKey software engineer.
Nice.
Who was inspired to get into computer science because of your videos.
Awesome.
If Luke couldn't have birds, what would he have instead?
My house.
My house grew up as a dog.
My mom was a dog groomer, and she ran the dog grooming shop out of our garage. So there was dogs around all the time, and we had dogs of our own. And my mom would train our dogs really, really well, and then bring them to dog shows and all this other kind of stuff. We had a Great Dane growing up, so dogs have always been a big part of my life. And I want a dog, but after dog sitting someone else's dog, I have no desire to have a dog in an apartment. I want a yard. It's very difficult to afford, so I don't know. But one day I'll get a dog, but only when I have a yard. I will not get a dog before I have a yard. Dogs in apartments don't make sense to me personally.
It's the work for me.
Yeah, I mean, it's way more work if you're in an apartment. And imagine you have a little puppy, and you're trying to potty train the little puppy. Oh, it needs to go to the washroom? I'm going to put it outside in a few minutes, I guess, because I have to get out of my apartment building. Like, what the heck? I don't know.
Yeah, it's pretty challenging. I mean, there are definitely solutions.
Also, properly exercising the size and breed of dog that I would probably end up wanting in an apartment.
Yeah, you got to remember he's going to be a big dog guy.
Yeah. So I will not have a life ever, because I'll have to be walking the dog 100% of the time. If when I'm away at work and stuff, it's just stuck. Like, okay, I don't know. So yeah, I will not get a dog until I have somewhere that it can play.
No, Dan's messaging me.
Dan?
Yeah. What do you want, Dan? Whatever.
How did you even know it was him? It was him. How did you know that?
I signaled with my phone.
Oh,
I don't know, Dan. You can. You guys can just curate a little bit more. But yeah, do you want food? Like, should we do food during After Dark? I know some people hate it when we eat, but we have mute buttons now, so you can only hear me sometimes. And
we have close to 1,000 merch messages. Yeah, maybe we should do food.
I've only got 22 in incoming.
Yeah.
And there's not that many curated. You guys can probably curate more.
Oh!
I muted my mic.
Ooh, shots fired.
He said something into a muted mic. That was spicy.
He said you guys suck at merch messages.
Pretty much. To be completely honest, that's basically what he said.
I think it's because people are just like buying things, right? Normally people buy stuff on the WAN show because they have a question that they want to ask that's very pointed and directed,
That's
right?
true. That's true.
A lot of them have been like, yay, thank you for things.
Which is
good
on a day like today.
Yeah.
Thanks for the cheap stuff.
Because realistically, we're going to get to a small fraction of them. But I'm super down to get some food. I'm really hungry. I don't know about you guys, but I did not really get a chance. We have food delivery for the office on 2 days a week, and one of the days is Friday. And the thing that I ordered today was like a vegetarian kebab thing, and I was like, "This is delicious for." I don't know. Was this 23 calories? Like I'm so hungry right now.
You've been working out more though.
Yes. Yeah, my boobies are even bigger than last week.
Oh yeah,
not by much, but a little bit.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you want
actually, I can legitimately tell. I hadn't looked, but you can see it.
Boobies.
You've got some check because you've got the dip here. It's visible.
Anyway,
you have cleavage.
The fashion team's gonna be so mad because like. When my body changes materially, it throws off like their measurements for like clothing development for the stuff that I'm trying on and stuff. Anyway,
that's pretty funny.
Yeah. So, what do you guys want to eat though?
I don't know, dude.
Okay.
Delivery is tough. Getting something that's like worth the calories from delivery is hard.
Well, wait. Does it have to be delivery if we don't have that many incoming? Is Chewy working? Like.
I believe Chewy's still here, and I'm almost out of incoming.
I know it's not like technically his job, but it wouldn't necessarily have to be delivery.
I don't even know if that helps. It probably does. I'm sure it does. I don't know. If you guys pick a place, I'll be able to find.
Sure. Okay.
Pad Thai. You said Pad Thai. You got me thinking about Pad Thai.
I'm down for Pad Thai. Fighting phone scams with AI. This is actually a leftover from last week that we didn't get to, but it's pretty cool. Australian researchers have created an AI chatbot system that is designed to waste scammers' time and resources as well as study them. The system is called Apate, after the Greek goddess of deception. It
Awesome.
can take on a range of
Love the
personas
name.
with different ages, genders, and accents,
Amazing.
and is designed to keep scam callers on the phone as long as possible. It's at least partially inspired by older scam baiting chatbots like Lenny, a relatively simple system created in 2011 that cycled through several pre-recorded lines pretending to be a forgetful and lonely old man until the scammer hung up in frustration. Apate is now in use among telecom companies in Australia who have diverted around 2 billion. I mean, I know I get a lot of scam calls, but like
and you gotta think everybody is.
the sheer volume of this is incredible.
Wow.
Have diverted around 2 billion likely scam calls to the system, which is also collecting information on tactics and trends in scams, which are typically run by large criminal organizations. Authorities are hoping to use this information to warn and protect potential future victims. The Apate team likewise trials different strategies for keeping the scammers on the call as long as possible and refines its output based on that information. Of course, the scammers are going to increase their volume by moving to AI callers, and we're going to have AIs talking to AIs
So we have fake
until they
internet
all take
theory.
over the world.
Now it's like fake phone call theory.
Oh my gosh.
All the phone calls are just robots.
I actually don't know where my pad thai is from. Yeah, only Vance would know. I literally don't know where he gets it.
Sorry, I thought this man has an executive assistant. I will ask him where he gets Linus's food that he likes. I know how this works.
I know where my chicken comes from. Langley Vietnamese cuisine.
Oh,
Love it.
that's the best.
Oh, I mean, I'd be down for that too, but I'm also down for that pad thai.
Are they open?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know what their hours are.
I will check.
All right. Do you want to hit, or we should do
Just more topics.
No,
More topics.
you know what we should do if we're stalling for time?
They close in 10 minutes. Don't do that. That's
Oh yeah, don't do that.
that's mean.
They would totally do it for us.
They would, but
They actually specifically opened for us once without us realizing.
yeah.
I felt so bad.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I was there, and yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I was like, I would not have asked you guys to do this. And they were like, no, it's our pleasure. Like, people from here eat there all the time. Like,
think
they
they
know who
were-
all of us are, but
I think they were taking time off because they had like family in town, and we didn't realize that they were closed, and we like called the reserve or something.
yeah, I
Oh,
felt terrible.
yeah.
Let's, should we do it?
If you're in town, it's an amazing place. Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
we're moving to WAN Show After Dark.
Oh.
Dan, do you want to do it?
Oh wait, yeah.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Yeah, it's
Do we
WAN
have
Show
any
After
topics
Dark.
left? I don't think so, right?
No, I think we're good on topics.
Diane.
I mean, we can talk about someone who put the WAN Show on the Jumbotron.
Yeah,
This is great.
that's awesome. That's super cool.
Yeah, maybe full screen it next time, but you know, you're doing really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not just I'm teasing, obviously.
Make sure you leave the mouse over the transport bar.
Also, somebody flagged this for us, but I haven't looked into it at all. Apparently, NVIDIA just open sourced their driver,
What?
What?
like Linux.
No, I read the text. Really? They open source their Linux?
I don't know. Hold on, 2 days ago. Sure, whatever. Transitions fully toward open source GPU kernel modules. This seems like a huge deal. Transitioning fully to open source GPU kernel modules is the right move. We're making the change in the upcoming R560 driver release.
Whoa.
I mean, awesome.
How did I not heard about this?
I mean, this was 2
I
days
thought
ago.
The sky would be.
Yeah, 2 days ago. I mean, remember, there's been a lot going on, like in the tech world. So
Yeah, I guess CrowdStrike really had that pop up.
yeah, super exciting though.
Yeah, there's
I mean,
not a ton of coverage about this. That's weird. This seems really cool. Is it not cool for some reason? There's only like I looked on YouTube, NVIDIA open source driver. There's one video from 2 hours ago, and everything else is from like months or years ago. There's not a lot of coverage.
There's like 2 comments on this blog post.
Yeah, like what? It's not the whole driver.
It's a big step.
I don't know.
Well, let's hope that this is just another step towards being more Linux and open source friendly from NVIDIA.
Agreed. I don't think we have time to like properly write and whatnot that topic, but hopefully it's good.
Okay, After Dark, Dan, you got to do the thing. We have different colors for After Dark now, right? Oh,
yeah, that's right.
Oh yeah, you already did that thing. That's it. Okay, I guess I also need the other thing.
Sure, if you just prepare yourself, I'll be over there in 1 second.
Yeah, you have a thing to put on.
I do?
Yeah. I don't know where it is.
Okay, it's
is
WAN Show After Dark.
On the floor right there, or do you have it? Okay.
Okay, Dan's got everything.
Yeah, we've got a thing.
So,
for you. Or he does.
I'll tell the story while we kind of get set up for this. Once upon a time, I actually forget the full context, but once upon a time, dBrand made an offer to sponsor me to dye my hair back to the blonde color that you see in this picture right here. Oh, right. I filmed a short circuit earlier this week where I was given this letter. Dearest Mr. Sebastian, they really did send me a letter. On February 10th, 2024, a thread was published on your subreddit titled, oh, that's what happened. Let's get dBrand's attention to sponsor Linus to dye his hair blonde again. Over the past 159 days, we have indeed been trying to get your attention. Emails, texts, and DMs have been met with non-responsive evasion.
Not good.
We even went so far as to purchase the domain blondelinus.com in both American and Canadian spellings. During last Friday's WAN show, at precisely 23 minutes and 20 seconds, you stated, dBrand wanted to bring the blonde hair back. I thought they were going to sponsor me to dye it again on the show or something. I'm down. dBrand, come at me. It's going to be a big bag of money, or I'm not doing it, though. Today, your evasive maneuvers will be ineffective. Before we fork over a big bag of money, we'd like to engage in the age-old tradition of try before you buy. Inside this box, you will find hair bleach.
Grab the hair bleach and turn the box around and look at it.
Yes, I've seen it. I saw this on Short Circuit. Here, I'll get you guys a better look at it. Yep, that's a picture. All right, that is a thing that exists. Use it to dye a small portion of your hair right now on camera. If we like what we see, you'll get your bag of money. So Luke didn't notice this until you guys saw earlier on the show, but f***ing Jake Bellavance, who I trusted during the short circuit, okay, I mixed up the bleach and I was like, okay, I can't see what I'm doing right now. It's not like I have a mirror. Go ahead and dye, okay, according to the instructions, a small portion of my hair.
They did this huge spot.
Put some bleach in the top of the... Yvonne cried from laughing.
Okay.
But she actually, like real tears, was crying when she saw this. She was like, oh my God. It looks like a bald spot.
It looks so incredibly worse than just doing the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, what I said after that was, Bell, let the business team know. Okay, get in touch with dBrand. They are sponsoring the WAN show tomorrow. Like this cannot stand.
I can't have this for an extended period of time.
So anyway,
CatOS is saying that Bell did it on purpose and dBrand bribed him, which honestly I believe. That would make sense. I would not be surprised if that was true.
So anyway, what we're going to do now is we are going to finish the job, and I don't know, Luke, are you going to do the honors? Have you ever hair dyed before?
Never.
You have never hair dyed before.
In the last 2 months, if I do this, I will have cut someone's hair and dyed someone's hair. So this is getting
for the first time, both?
Yes.
Oh,
this is becoming a thing.
Might have been a small spoiler.
Oh, well, they don't know whose.
Yeah, and they don't know what video it might have been for.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to expect you to know how to do this, but I'm gonna help. So yeah, right. So I'm gonna help. So basically, you take this thing right here, which is the developer cream.
Okay. Hey, it's cream for me.
And then like you develop anything.
That's true.
Okay. Then you dump that powder in it. Hold on. Let me just double check.
Into this?
Yeah. Into that container. Yes.
Why wouldn't they just do that ahead of time?
Well, because
It has to react or something?
Luke.
I don't know.
Dang it. Okay, this is the French side, which I could read, but is a lot of work. Carefully pour the entire packet. Yes. Screw the flat cap onto the developer cream bottle and shake. Okay, so then you'll put this on and then shake it.
Okay.
Shake it like it's your moneymaker. In the meantime, I'm going to give the people another lightning deal.
Oh, no.
Pick a number.
Do we have other gloves? Are those other gloves? Do we only have one size of glove?
Yeah, we only have one size of gloves to show
I'll
off.
get you some larger gloves.
It's like
Okay, I'll be back in a
Can
second.
you really not get... Okay, this is hilarious.
Those are other gloves. These are not the same.
This is hilarious. Look at my hands in them.
I can't even
No, I think this is the same size glove.
No, it's not.
It just looks gigantic on my hand.
No, they're actually different gloves.
Let's see. Can you get your hand in it?
Yeah. Well, more easily.
I really do think they're the same gloves, Luke. They're not
the
going
same
on.
gloves.
They're not going on, Luke. Why are you forcing this? You're being so weird about it.
I do. I do this with gloves all the time. This is how I have to put these types of gloves on. None of them just go on.
Luke, they are the same gloves.
They're not. They're not. Look,
Dude,
look.
Dude, no.
Look.
The first pair of gloves, Luke, it comes with one pair of gloves.
No, he pulled these out of a package.
I know.
No, he pulled these out of a box of gloves.
Oh,
these are
okay,
different
okay,
gloves.
okay.
I'm not. Look.
Okay, yeah.
They're different.
No, you're right. Okay, I thought they were the gloves that came with the one that I opened on set for Short Circuit.
Yeah, no.
And it was just the other, the pair from that and the pair from this because I didn't use. Okay.
Dan has a box of gloves.
All
He
right,
just,
okay.
They just don't.
Why does Dan just have a box of gloves lying around?
Are you that surprised?
Maybe he's a boxer. And he likes boxing gloves.
My goodness. Blow into the glove, it makes it easier.
He's just a packaging
I
enthusiast.
don't think that's,
I don't think that's going to
not
do
going to
it.
make a difference.
Now he's just pre-moistened it before his hands
I
sweat
felt that
it.
too.
It's just going to stick.
It's really not going to change
stick.
much. Yeah, I could. So I think I could get my hand in this one, but it's already ripping, so I would kind of destroy it. So maybe if he has bigger ones, that'd be great. If not, I'll make it work.
All right. Give me a number between 2 and 6.
Do I do it?
You have to give me a number. This is your choice.
4.
There's free. Oh my god. You have free will, right?
Yeah, which is why I'm picking 4.
Why you got to pick this kind of
It's random. It's random that I pick 4 every time, and true randomness will show weird patterns sometimes because it is actually random.
It's not random. Everything is predetermined. Okay, we don't have every size of this, but we have mystery sweatpants. We've got about 150 of them, and they are $11.
What the heck?
I don't know, man. It's the write-off sale.
Yeah, but like,
It's the inventory management sale. I mean, look, it is challenging, right? When you've got
Luke, I got you.
okay, come on. I can't. Actually, like, you don't. Okay, this is. Wait, what? You only got one of these?
Yeah, that's 2.
What?
Thanks, Tynan.
These aren't appropriate gloves.
I'm starting to wonder if anyone who works
They do
here is
fit.
actually on my team.
They do fit. They fit great.
That's all we had that would probably fit. There were out of the large nitriles.
Oh, okay. So I'll just have to try to make, because these I can't. There's no dexterity in these.
Dexterity?
What?
Is that what you said?
No, that is not what I said.
Why do you got to look at them so hard?
What? Is there another one that matches
Put all
this?
his points in dexterity.
Oh my goodness.
No strength.
But if you ask him to make a low-strength repetitive movement many times, he's really good at that.
Unfortunately, solo party.
Okay, wait. I'm making this one work. I need the other glove, though.
Why are you doing it under the table?
It felt easier. I don't know. Don't.
All you're doing is making everyone
bring
watching you more
attention to it.
uncomfortable.
I'm
You know what?
uncomfortable.
I got it. I got it. Is there another one of this, Sir Linus?
I think the box only came with one of those.
No. There should have been two. Well, what's that second other glove you've got there?
These are the other
Oh
ones.
no,
I was
Bell
telling you
used
about.
the other one. Oh, this isn't a new pack. This is. I used only a little bit of it. Waste not, want not. So this is the original pack that they
Do
sent.
I only need one?
Yeah, I mean, sure. Go ahead and dump the thing.
Okay. So I put this package thingy in this thingy, and then I shake it.
Oh my god, that deal's going so fast. We have a bunch of
I wonder why.
we have a bunch of smalls left. If you're a small, go for it. And don't forget, it's free shipping on orders over $100. Free shipping. You guys always complain about shipping, and then I'm like, whoa, free shipping. And you're like, I don't know, maybe. No, go for it. Do it. Dan, do you want to hit me with the merch message in the meantime while Luke figures out how...
Yeah, that little foray
Gloves
cost me 75 potentials. I hate you so much. I had it down to 5.
Merch messages per minute right now is at 14.
I haven't done the calculation. Let me stall for time and do that. So we've been live for 4 hours and 16 minutes.
There's a calculator, isn't there?
No, I made one. And that's...
What? There's a running one. It's built into the thing.
in
No,
the
but it
dashboard.
doesn't do per second. So we've been live for over 4 hours and 15 minutes, and I've been doing one every 15 seconds for that entire time.
Well, aren't you getting help?
Nice.
Yeah, sure we know. Yeah. Hey, LLD, what is it with time that you have grown to enjoy the most out of each other?
Oh, wow. Now you guys are just fishing for the 20-minute merch messages.
Sheesh.
What a try-hard merch message. In all seriousness, though, I don't know. Luke just gets it. I don't have to explain things to Luke, but if I feel like talking for a long time because, I don't know, the sound of my own voice amuses me or because it's just something that I needed to get out, he'll listen anyway, even though realistically he probably knew what I was going to say. There's definitely stuff I can say to Luke that I can't say to almost anyone else. Like, I would say anything to Yvonne. She's S+ tier. But then Luke is like S tier plus, if that makes sense. Because he's S tier plus things that I could tell Yvonne, but she just wouldn't fucking care about.
Oh, I spilled. I was doing so good until then.
Oh wow, you really made a mess.
Darn it.
Maybe you should have stared instead of touching it.
Wow.
He's got all the stare points. And like, there's things that Yvonne would give me a courtesy chuckle for, but that I can indulge my inner complete toddler and Luke will reinforce my behavior, So yeah, I mean, it's kind of like asking someone, what have you grown to enjoy about having a friend? Like, I don't really have a ton of adult friends. I joke about how I have none, and it's funniest because I'm saying that in front of one person whose feelings would be most hurt by me saying I don't have any friends. But I genuinely have very few. I don't have time for. Did you spill?
No, I just realized what I'm doing.
It's okay, you're wearing gloves.
You were trying to say something about toddler jokes? There you go. What have you come to enjoy?
He's a giver.
Oh my goodness.
Friends in the largest quotation marks.
Oh no. How much do I have to shake this?
I think you're good.
Okay.
He'll tell you when it stopped.
Yeah.
Do I put this thing back on it?
I don't know. Has the cream started coming out the end yet?
Okay.
Okay.
Get the towel.
So you okay now?
No, you can't use my shower. My
Colin
mom's
right
coming
here.
over later. Get out.
Now you take no, you don't put that on yet. You got to put this. This is the hyper lightning cream.
The coloring. How
No,
much?
it's just bleached, man. It's yeah. This is
How much?
all of it.
Oh, what?
Yeah, do it, you coward. I think. Are you only supposed to put in part of it? Oh yeah, all of it. Squeeze the contents in, and then shake until the mixture is rich and creamy. That's actually in here.
All right.
Rich and creamy. What are we talking about?
I think this was a merch. Oh yeah, what
Okay.
have you grown to enjoy the most out of each other?
Well, he enjoys fondling, I guess.
Luke, are you a cuddler? Don't answer that.
It's such a manageable size.
I can actually kind of answer that to a certain degree without being that weird. I sweat a lot, so like I don't actually like it that much. Unless it's like cold, but it's rarely cold.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay, moving on. Hey, Linus, Luke, and Dan. Has anyone from the Canadian government or military ever approached you about collaboration to help with recruiting tech-focused people? Would you be interested?
The Canadian military reached out to us once about sponsoring something, or maybe it was like doing a tour of one of our decrepit military things or something. I forget what exactly it was. Okay, I make fun of the Canadian military because realistically everyone does. But
Why would you make fun of our boat?
but we
Steve and Dave in the canoe will be very upset.
Yeah, we upgraded the engines. We now have Huskies running on the hamster wheels inside instead of actual hamsters. Yeah, I mean we have some hardware that would actually make for a pretty cool video, but I don't remember why it never really worked out. But yeah, potentially. I don't know that I necessarily want to be a mouthpiece for military recruitment. Like a hard sell, but if you guys just wanted to show off some cool stuff you're doing or whatever else, then I could see there maybe being some synergies there. I guess I gotta lose my headphones for a little bit. And I guess we didn't really give any thought to how to handle the audio of this. I guess I'm on merch messages and Luke is on this. Okay, so Dan, are you able to actually make that camera a little wider? Also, I don't think it's in focus. Yep, minor details. And I guess I will just start reading from the curated merch messages for a little bit while this happens.
I don't know what to do.
You basically
in your hair and then rub it around or what?
So I don't know if they can hear you or not, but yikes. Double yikes. That's good enough.
Yeah, you okay with that?
Yeah. Anywho, I have never done this before where part of it is like already died.
I try to work around that area.
Yeah,
Should I
so
do all of it because that area should be the same color, or would that over bleach that area?
no, it would double bleach that area, and like I don't know, maybe it'll fall out. So in theory, you're supposed to kind of avoid the scalp, but when you're when you're bleaching the whole thing, I've always felt like that's kind of a stupid like CYA instruction, because if someone's hair all falls out, then they can be like, well, we told you not to rub it on the scalp. But realistically, how are you going to dye your whole head all the way down to the roots without getting any bloody dye or bleach on the scalp? That doesn't compute for me. So if I had to guess, I would say go for the heaviest application everywhere except where it's already bleached, and maybe just go for a very, very light application there. And all of this assumes that your nozzle and head massage control is a lot better than Jake Bellevant's, who claims that he actually tried to do a small spot, but it just spiraled out of control. So
I want to make it super clear. I have no idea what I'm doing.
yeah, we get it. Oh my God.
Not a great start.
This is incredible.
I hope we get some like really serious questions.
Anonymous asks, could you talk any more about the small backpack and what you're aiming for or what the design process has been like? I heard you mention recently it's still a long way from completion. Did you take the top cap? Oh, you did. You may want to put it on your hand.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and you may want to, you may want to, there you go. You may want to hold the bottle in the good hand and then you're good. So you could just put it on your hand. It's basically like,
add a ton more because I added that. I want to see how much it.
Just do it like putting in shampoo.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is totally nice.
You're gonna want to do more of like, do you not wash your hair? Like, do you know how shampoo works? Yeah, there we go.
Is that right? Okay.
Well,
I don't know. I didn't know it was the same. Okay.
Yeah, it's a funny thing. Like, I've thought about this sometimes when I've had to do acting things for our videos. I'm not an actor, but occasionally I'll have to do something that's like kind of an acting thing. And it occurs to me sometimes that it was when I was showering on camera for some reason. I was like, I've never thought about if the way that I shower is normal.
It's weird.
Yeah, right? Like is top to bottom chill? Is it dirtiest parts first? Is it last? Is it like I've never really thought about if I do it right.
I actually really wish I had 2 glove hands.
You're gonna need way more of this.
Yeah, there's a lot of it in one spot.
I got you gloves.
So okay.
Compensate by putting more of it everywhere.
Okay.
The longer you spend on it, the more unevenly bleached it will be.
Okay.
So getting it all on there is pretty good. Anyway, as for the small backpack, I got a new sample. So we've reduced the number of pockets, but we've got more of like a pocket of holding now, which is really nice. And we have put a little bit more thought into how our pocket layout is going to work. And
how weird is this for you? It's actually not that bad for me. I'm just getting to work.
It's not the most normal thing that I've ever experienced. You need so much more of this. Is it supposed to be like white? Just give her. Just give her. It's a long way from completion still, but I have one that I can start daily driving again. I just haven't started doing it yet. I've just been really busy this week and I haven't had time to move all of my stuff over. Okay, cool. Dan, you want to hit me with a merch message?
Yeah, sure. Let's see. Linus, as an owner of your own business, do you ever feel like your employees don't have the same passion you do? How do you cope with this? Hashtag asking for a friend. Happy CS Disaster Day.
It's tough because everybody's motivation for doing what they do is completely different. Some people do what they do purely out of passion and would do the exact same thing whether they made any money or not. Some people do things purely for the money and absolutely hate everything about it other than their paycheck. And then realistically, almost everyone is somewhere in between on that spectrum. Do I feel like they don't have the same passion I do? Absolutely. I do what I do because it's what I would have done anyway. And there's very, very few people who fall completely into that category. To be clear, I also have to eat, and the money is absolutely a factor. I was very, very upfront from day one that when we split off from NCIX, this was my job. We were starting a company, and it was going to need to be sustainable, which means it was going to need to be profitable and grow and hire people and do all those things. But it is what I would have been doing in my free time, chatting with people about tech. Anyway, I just have to do a lot of, business stuff that I frankly am a lot less passionate about. On top of that, you're doing this, Luke.
What?
Well, I was going to say you're doing great, but then I realized that
there's no possible way I'm doing great.
We have an honest relationship, and I don't really feel that way. You may at some point wish to...
Yeah, I'm doing that right now.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so dBrand sponsored this for those of you who are tuning in late, and I'm fairly certain that this is what I'm going to look like afterward.
How certain?
If it's anything other than this, then I'm asking L'Oreal for a refund.
Do you think you need more stuff or less stuff?
way more.
Way more.
You got to saturate it.
All right.
Saturate that biz. Like, especially here has like nothing. Oh, man. Okay. Okay, Dan. Oh, wait, how do I cope with it? Well, you cope with it by learning to manage, right? Like everyone has different styles. So you make the company a place that people want to work in different ways if they're not quite as passionate as you are about IT widgets or whatever else. Neither of you guys showed up, but one of the examples is extracurricular activities that are fun for people. We had softball night last night and it was flipping awesome. We had we had over 20 people turn up for it, which sounds like, okay, yeah, that's a softball night, right? But that was our biggest turnout ever. And if you think about it a little more, that's a fifth of the company. Softball night is freaking popular and it's freaking awesome. So yeah, whether it's events or perks or pay or working conditions, one of the things that we feel very strongly about is that warehouse workers deserve air conditioning too. The vast majority of the warehouses in the Lower Mainland do not have air conditioning, and ours do, because we think our logistics team deserves to not sweat like pigs all day every day. I know that's an expression, pigs don't actually sweat, but yeah, chill. Okay, hit me, Dan.
Linus, with it being a month since the Ally X video, I'm curious to know, have you been playing it since then? If so, what games have you tried on it?
The Ally X is, to my knowledge, still under review embargo. So if I was to share with you anything other than what I said in the first video, I would probably be doing it bad. So, and the truth is that was a pre-production hardware piece anyway, so I haven't been playing with it. There's nothing for me to glean from it other than that I like the ergonomics, which I already knew from doing the first video. Oh, goodness. Okay. What do you guys think? Is he doing a good job? Oh, now there's some bleach on my keyboard. No, you're good. Now my eyes sting. You're doing great, Luke. Just make sure you get everything, please.
That's what I'm currently working on, is making sure there's no dead spots.
People are saying no, using too little.
I don't know, no one told me how much to use.
All of it.
Yeah, that wasn't said until after I was already going.
Uh-huh.
Is all of it on there now?
No, he's used
Get the rest on there.
Half.
Just to get it on his hair before he dies.
Before he dies.
Well,
all right.
Before he doesn't die.
Before he dies.
Oh.
Yeah, because it's going to get worse.
Okay. You can tell Luke is...
What's that?
Okay.
What's that face there?
Okay. Yeah, that's a strong smell. And everything else about everything else that is happening right now.
Temple?
Oh
yeah,
my
there
God.
you go.
Okay, Dan, hit me.
Sure. On the
Make
wrong
sure you
tab.
get the ends of the front. If I just have
No, you've got the ends are good.
brown tips, it's going to look pretty stupid.
Nope.
Okay.
Greetings to everyone. Question for all three of you. What is the most seriously that was the solution you've ever had while troubleshooting?
Oh man.
There's got to be so many of those, but remembering them might be tough.
Yeah. I feel like I often just block these things from my mind. There's got to be something with like a RAM something. Oh, I remember. Okay. I've had Scrapyard Wars on the brain. And I think the most seriously that was the solution was Scrapyard Wars 4 with Bob and Rod? Yeah. Okay. So it didn't really make it into the cut very well. We were under extreme time pressure to get those bloody videos out, and the editors weren't the same ones who shot it, so they weren't necessarily there for every crazy moment. In the last episode, we kind of allude to this really quickly, but honestly, it would be pretty cool to dig back into the archive at some point, pull this footage out, and do a float plane exclusive video on what happened. Because we had a motherboard that either worked and then didn't, or we broke it. Something happened, and it ended up with scratched traces. on it. It was dead. It was not working. And I don't remember if it was Bob's idea or if it was my idea, but somehow we came up with the idea of bypassing the broken trace by jumpering one of the fan headers onto another fan header or something. It was absolutely wild. We did it. The system powered up and was stable throughout testing, so we were able to complete. If it hadn't worked, we would have not had a working computer.
You want an interesting follow-up on that story?
Apparently it was Bob who bodged the wire. I apparently doubted him the whole time. That checks out.
I don't blame you for doubting him. That was a crazy thing to do, and I'm surprised it worked. You want to follow up to that story?
Yes.
I ended up buying that motherboard and CPU.
You bought that motherboard?
I did.
It's still running, isn't it?
I gave it to my brother. It still works.
It still works. That is sick.
No particular maintenance on it. Nothing's ever gone wrong. It's not like the fan stopped working. Nothing happened. Everything's been fine. As far as my understanding goes. Maybe you didn't tell me those things. But.
Okay. So have you saturated it?
I don't know. I think so. It seems pretty saturated to me.
Well, I can't see.
There's like goop everywhere. But like, I don't know.
Okay.
I've never done this before.
Do you have all the way to the roots at the front there?
I don't think so. Yeah, watch those bang roots.
There's goo at the roots. I don't know.
Okay, cool.
Okay. Oh man, it really looks like at the front here you have
temples,
Luke.
temples and the bangs.
Specifically right now.
Okay. I was pointing here, but sure.
Oh, yeah, that's not done.
Oh.
I thought I got this part, but apparently not.
Eyebrows?
Serenity now. No, no, this is not designed for eyebrows. This is the really strong stuff that is designed for the head. Okay, Dan, hit me.
Let's see. What's up, LL&D? What was your best trip or vacation that wasn't planned?
I don't think I've ever taken a vacation that wasn't planned. Do people take unplanned vacations?
Those seem like crazy people.
How does that happen? You just like end up leaving?
I don't know. Like I've definitely known people that are like, oh yeah, I'll just like start driving and I'll like arrive somewhere. But I've never done that. Okay, so you've got it saturated everywhere now?
I think so, but I haven't used all the goop.
Okay. If you've got it saturated everywhere and you're 100% certain, then we're good.
Dan, have you dyed hair?
Not for a very long time.
Okay, can you run over here and evaluate the
Okay.
level of...
Okay.
Okay, Dan's apparently going to come take a look. So I guess I will find another merch message. This one is from Alan J. Oh, actually, no. You know what I'll do? I'll do
less here because it was already done back there.
the last crazy deal, I think, is gone.
It's not probably...
Okay, I'll do that.
Oh, no. We still have 14 small mystery sweatpants for $11. Do it, you cowards.
If you want, I don't know.
Luke,
Yeah,
give me a number, please.
4.
Between...
Like all over here.
4.
Okay.
All of this.
That looks very gooped to me, but I will add goop.
It's not about the goop quantity.
It's not about the goop quantity?
It's about working it into the hair.
Okay.
Oh, my God. Thank you, Dan, for helping him because this was very painful.
I can't imagine why.
Okay.
And here.
It's 50% off the Technicolor Keys desk pad. Oh, that's a cool design. Yep. Once again, we don't have a flippin' ton of these. We've only got a little over 100, and they are going to be 50% off, $15. I am setting it active now. So if you need a desk pad, this is a great deal. Don't forget, we've got free shipping on orders over $100. This is the most unhinged WAN show that I think has ever WAN showed. Here it is. Good reviews, cool design, great packaging courtesy of Sarah Butt. Here's what it looks like with a keyboard and a mouse on it. I am so stressed right now. Cool. Okay. Alan J says, Linus Media Group and LLD. I'm starting a manufacturing startup and struggling to keep up with deadlines, as my family's farm, helping support the startup, demands 12-plus hour days, 7 days a week. Advice.
Sheesh. Sorry, let me get over there.
Okay. Oh, this is a tough one because, the last thing I want to tell you is give up on your manufacturing startup dream. And the second last thing I want to tell you is, let your family know that they need to take a hike. But what I can tell you is you've got to set boundaries. There are, as you've discovered, only so many hours in a day, Alan. And if you've got a dream and you've got your heart set on something, and your family is supportive, then hopefully they can find a way to support what you're doing as in exchange, or not in exchange. I mean, it's family. It shouldn't be an exchange. Hopefully you guys can be mutually supportive of each other. Have an honest conversation. That's the most important thing. Honest conversation about what is feasible for you, what they need from you, and how you can mutually achieve your goals. Because communication is clearly an issue here if you're asking me rather than talking to them about it. And I'm not saying you've done anything wrong. I'm just saying that obviously the current situation isn't working and you're going to need to do something. So hard to take Linus serious right now. Okay, so are we good?
I don't know. I feel
okay.
like it, but
all right.
I've never done this before. So
okay, we're good. So the next thing that I need is a plastic bag. Do I have a plastic bag? Do we have a plastic bag in the house?
No, it's not provided.
Luke, go ahead and have a seat.
All right. Well, I should probably put this somewhere.
Just any plastic bag. Yeah, you could just make it inside out, and then it's good. Or that's not the anyway. Good luck with that. Is he even going to be able to remove the glove?
Yeah,
we're not sure.
Yeah, I'm trying to do it without being messy.
Okay. Thanks, Dan. Yeah. Very funny. Okay. So, these dyes tend to work a little bit better with heat. Same with bleach. So I'm just going to get a bit of a plastic helmet going on here. And let it set for a little bit longer. Luke took so long that realistically...
No one told me how long!
There's not much leave-in time left, but I can't have the parts that he just did rinsed now. So don't worry about it, guys. Realistically, I used to leave these things in for probably about double what they recommend in the box with the heat helmet. So if I was gonna lose all my hair, it would have happened before.
I think my teachers sucked, to be completely honest. Because somebody told me at the beginning that it maybe doesn't have to go on the scalp. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'm gonna take some advice from that. And then somebody else is like, actually, you need to massage it in. What are you guys saying?
We said it was like shampoo.
No one said amount of time. Nobody said until I was significantly through that I had to use the entire bottle.
We said it was like shampoo. Do you shampoo? You know what?
Goofy boys.
You know what? It doesn't matter.
Shampoo that can't touch your scalp.
Dan, hit me.
What?
Terrible teachers.
What about using conditioner? That's not supposed to go on your scalp.
Yeah. Wait, it's not?
No.
I just go ham with the conditioner.
Yeah, I definitely.
Your hair is so short it doesn't actually matter.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
I have ADHD and work in startups. I enjoy hearing Linus talk about his experiences in his professional life. What are the aspects of ADHD he thinks benefit him, and what is his advice to others?
I mean, hyperfocus is the one benefit that I can think of with ADHD.
When it's on the right thing. I
will have absolutely zero productivity, and then I'll be minutes from my deadline, and I will get an hour of work done in those minutes. It's not because I want to procrastinate. I'm probably not going to use it. It's not because I want to procrastinate. It's more just that I find it almost impossible to focus until the moment when I need to focus. I'd say that's the biggest one. As for advice to others, do everything you can to stay organized. Write down everything, because one of my biggest distractions can be forgetting a good idea and trying to get it back, and then I end up missing out on probably 5 other good ideas in the time that I spent thinking about that one the one that got away. I think that's the other thing too is ADHD, again, another superpower is that you're kind of going in 100 different directions at once. And I think in a creative industry like we're in, that can be a benefit as much as it can be a challenge.
It can be helpful. One of the biggest things I've done in managing people with ADHD that's been helpful is creating sacred time for them to stay in flow and stay focused. Very helpful.
All right.
It stinks.
You guys, oh yeah, it stinks. You guys got a couple that you can do while I run to the shower?
I'm sure. Yeah.
Wish me luck, guys.
Godspeed.
This is very blonde already.
There's bits that aren't, so that bodes well.
Let's just do it again. He looks so bemused. I think you did a good job, Luke. That face means he's
bits. I think
you dyed most of his skin as well. You tried not to get it on his skin.
You guys are going to drive me nuts, man.
Right. Well, you should have worn the gloves that I bought you.
I don't know. I thought I needed dexterity. Nobody told me it was just smash it into the skull.
Well, it wasn't smash it into the skull. It was very forget it. Short, tall, and regular-sized Luke, how do you know you've nailed a work-life balance?
How would I know?
That's why I wanted to ask this, because let me know when you find out.
Yeah.
The thing is,
either of the people currently present are
100% work. That is technically a balance. You did not specify what kind of ratio that you like. It's really easy to not have a life when you just do work, and then you don't have to worry about a whole bunch of things.
Yeah, neither of us have a child. So for me, if I'm not doing what I call work, which is work here, then I'm probably going to find ways to do other forms of it, basically.
Fun work.
Yeah.
I think that's a good balance.
If you asked me if I would have done that when I was a kid, I would have said obviously not, and now I do it. So it is what it is.
I do my fun work for work too.
Yeah.
I just like working here. It's fun.
I find the managing... Food. Oh, okay.
Thank you. So nice.
Why'd you say, oh my gosh?
Because the food's here.
Oh, I thought I was
excited.
Linus for a second.
No, sorry.
Hello, thank you.
Hopefully this is from the right place. We couldn't get a hold of Vance. Thank you so much. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Work-life balance bad. Let's see what else.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not necessarily saying work-life balance is bad. I try to defend it for my people as much as I can. I just don't defend it for myself. But I also know what works for me. I kind of do this all the time. So sometimes I'll be like super dialed in, and then other times I'm not as dialed in, and it just kind of flows. And I allow that to flow. And my low point is, I'm there for 8 hours a day and I'm putting in good work. My high point is like, I need to do stuff. My brain just wants to work on things. And then I end up putting in more, but it is what it is.
I find that it's also important to not get upset with yourself when you're in those low points.
Yeah.
I found for a very long time I was getting down on myself for, just getting 8 hours of work done, or maybe 9, do a couple hours at home that's not very good, and kind of pushing for those 12 hours. And yeah, that can be dangerous. So if your work-life balance, if you have a healthy relationship with yourself,
yes,
then it can be healthy at no matter what side of the scale it's on.
Yeah, if my brain isn't in hyper work mode,
you got to be okay with letting yourself not be in that.
Yeah. If my brain's in if my brain is not in hyper work mode, what I try to do is resist the temptation to degen super hard into really bad things. And what I'll do is instead try to focus on like, you know what? Brain's not really feeling like getting certain work goals done this week. Instead, I'm going to try to walk really far, or like a huge amount of total steps this week, or like I'll make sure I'm really consistent at the gym, or like find some other thing that I can do that gets the dopamine wheel spinning in a good way instead of like a doom scrolling way or something like that. Dopamine control is probably what I would say.
Especially for ADHD people as well, dopamine control is an extremely difficult thing to manage and to maintain.
Yeah.
Scary. Okay, let's see. What else we got?
Linus is going to be so pissed. I don't even take full blame. I got like no training.
Yeah, I don't know. Whatever happens. Hello, LLD. As a person busy with my work as a software developer, how do you balance putting extra time into work versus personal development in order to become a better professional? It's like the same question.
Not exactly, but it's very similar.
I mean, I've been going up and down the list here.
Because this person's kind of saying like, okay, become a better professional. Do I do that through doing my own work, or do I do that towards putting extra time into work?
Do I want to be a better me, or do I want to be a better career person? I think is basically the crux of this.
Maybe. That's a very personal question. And I think can change depending on the scenario and stuff. So like,
could they don't necessarily have to be mutually exclusive? If you're a better you become a better professional?
Yeah. That's totally a thing.
Yeah.
Rising tide
makes all the ships in the sea.
Yes. Yep.
Not my goat, not my horse, or whatever the saying is. Let's see what else I got here. So many of these are things I think Linus would want to like have an in on.
Yeah.
These are hard.
Uh-oh, I can hear him.
Oh, he sounds angry.
Yeah, he does.
He's doing a lot of yelling.
He is.
And storming about.
I heard a
and crashing about.
He's gonna be so upset.
Oh God.
Uh-oh.
Oh God.
Uh-oh. He's walking above us right now. FaceTime Yvonne live. We should do that. He's not gonna be able to FaceTime, but he should video call Yvonne.
I mean, she could just watch WAN show.
Hi, Linus. I know you say you don't like presents. Do you like cards? I don't think he really particularly likes anything, but it depends. There have been ones of both that he has liked. I hear him. Ah, what? Oh, that's not fair. That's not fair. Okay, wait. You haven't revealed yet. What if you video call Yvonne?
You want me to video call Yvonne?
I think so.
I don't know if they can hear me right now.
Yes, they can.
Okay?
Yes.
What's that?
They can hear you. Yeah.
Okay. What's up, y'all? All right.
That was a good idea. I wasn't sure why you were upstairs. That makes sense.
I thought you were yelling at us.
Showmanship.
I kind of did too. No, it's good. It's good.
Presentation.
All right. Hold on. I'm going to call on a data application rather than phone.
Hello?
Hey, lady, you are live on the WAN show. Yvonne?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you just fine. You're live on the WAN show.
Okay. What's up?
Well, we did a thing today.
Did you finish dyeing your hair?
Well, here's the thing. You know how I've dyed my hair like over a dozen times and am pretty experienced at it, and you know, with nothing but a mirror and some common sense, I can do a pretty good job of it.
Did Luke or Dan do it?
Luke did it. And not only has he never dyed hair before, he doesn't appear to have ever shampooed hair either.
You told me not to put it on the scalp. You put shampoo on you work shampoo into your scalp. What do you... My teacher was really bad. I maintain this.
Okay.
I don't know if it can be worse than yesterday, honestly.
We'll see.
I was literally crying yesterday.
I have a feeling the sideburns aren't fully done. There's some other things
So
there.
Luke's going to put you on his mic.
Sure.
And then turn on video calling.
Okay. Wait, is it on?
Wait, that means I need to put my phone on speaker. One sec.
You can put on the video feed. That's fine. She can't see yet. You got to put her right on the tip.
Okay.
Okay, we good?
Yeah.
Well, it's everywhere. It's just orange.
No, why is it orange?
Why is it
Did you not
orange?
leave it in long enough?
It does seem to be everywhere.
It doesn't seem that bad, honestly. I was expecting way worse.
Is there a
Everywhere?
sideburn miss?
Maybe it's the video.
Hey, the certain tips are just darker. It's fine. It's supposed to be that way.
Can we do it again?
It's called Orange Flame. It's a design
Can we
decision.
do it again? Is that okay if we do it twice?
Okay.
See
All right.
the brown spot?
You can snip that.
Uh-huh.
That's fine.
I don't know. I haven't even seen the rest of it yet. So,
Oh no.
How's the blending on the previous circle?
The spot in the back is still there. I don't
Yeah, it's brighter.
know how that happened.
she says the spot in the back is still there.
Yeah, you can tell it's brighter.
Do you have more? Can I help you fix it?
I don't know if you can help fix this, but we're certainly not going to do it with Luke's help. So I'll let you go now, hun.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
It really does look orange. It's really very orange.
Well, I told you I used to leave them in for about double the amount of time that they say on the package, but I was seeing how much it was lightening under the thing. But I think I was seeing areas like this where you put dye 15 minutes before you put it in other places.
Do you want me to have a go? Or is it possible to try
I don't
again?
think so.
No.
Yeah.
You certainly shouldn't try again like the same day. Wow.
This is probably the best result for dBrand, to be perfectly honest.
Man, we're going to have to start pushing the LTT Hat Pro in our videos a lot.
I unironically think it looks pretty all right. It doesn't look like it's supposed to,
I look like
but it looks kind of cool.
I look like I'm going through a midlife crisis.
You look like you're supposed to be in like a
Midlife
early
Crisis.
2000s punk band.
Sponsored by dBrand.
No, I look like I was in an early 2000s punk band in
That
the
just
early 2000s.
Never grew out of it.
Johnny-
Yeah, that makes sense.
Johnny Rotten
That
had
makes
better
sense.
hair.
Look at the back.
There's like
Yeah, I
there's
mean,
like a
it's-
brown ring
It's
around
kind of
it.
much of the same.
Luke.
Yeah. I think it looks cool. It just doesn't even sort of remotely look like what it's supposed to, based on the box.
Oh wow, those desk pads are gone. Well, do you want another one? Should we do more? There's some pretty crazy stuff in
Yeah.
here.
Also, that's another thing. Chat disagreed with you guys all the time.
About what?
Chat was saying you rinsed it way too soon.
Oh, chat
They
was
were also saying
No, you can't listen to
the soap analogy or the soap analogy was bad.
No, shampoo is fine. If you just put it, I've done this a lot of times. I don't have super sensitive skin on my scalp, so if I just put it in like shampoo, do the heat thing.
Then why did you tell me the avoid scalp thing?
You're gonna have to watch it back. I think you were very focused on what you were doing.
Oh, yeah,
and
he
we're
said-
not listening.
He said to absolutely hit the scalp. I was focusing the camera and I remember that instruction.
But you can't. You should know from teaching people that are new at things. You don't say the part that they're not supposed to do. Then you shouldn't say avoid the scalp, but on mine you can go for it, because then they're still going to hesitate. That's a very beginner teacher thing that you should know.
Don't get.
I gotta say, I look sassier like this.
Yeah, I like it.
I don't know if I agree. I don't think you look sassy.
It makes you a
because
little
it's
bit
harder
more
to take you
biting.
serious.
No, he looks like he's violent.
Violent. The orange does help with that a little bit. If it was actually pure blonde, I don't think so.
No,
But he looks a little insane.
This looks like he's had some problems.
Yeah.
Look at that face. Like he's just gonna stab you.
What do you mean, look at the face? We didn't change anything about the face.
Yeah, but like the face. Nah, you know.
All right, hit me, Dan.
Sure. I might have to get you guys to read them yourself.
Okay. Anonymous says, "Hey LLD, sweet sour Lime Day deals. Linus badminton talk. What's your racket and string combo in your play style? I play with the NanoFlare 700 for you. I like to smash a lot, but more of an accuracy focused smash rather than a super hard smash. Thank you. I saw that. I have good defense, but my light touch could use a lot of improvement." Richard says, "It's 2024. How come we don't have individually addressable sprinkler heads in our irrigation systems yet?" I mean, that can be done, but I would counter your question with my own question. Why is individual room HVAC not completely normal now?
Yeah, because it's been a thing. But
when I got quoted to do the AC system at my old place, they quoted me like $20-something thousand, and it was just like one thermostat in one place.
That's so bad.
Which is so stupid. Setting up a system where you can have not baffles, the things in the ducts. Man, why is this word escaping from me right now? I've turned into a blonde. Now I know how you feel.
Not really. It's more orange.
Dampers, louvers, whatever. Yeah, dampers. I think that's what we call them here. So, like, why wouldn't you just have damper control on a per room basis so you can dump cold into it or not dump cold? How do these not communicate back? How's that not? It's like a little bit of wire and a tiny motor. Like, for the cost of these HVAC installations, it seems so obvious. Like, everyone can relate to this, like being at work, and like person A's office is always freezing and person B's office is always boiling. Why is this not obvious? And then when I did it myself, I did it with mini splits rather than with ducted central AC, and that just had per room control built into it, and it was a fraction of the price. I'm sitting here going, why is anybody doing anything other than this? It's so obvious.
It seems genuinely very weird.
Yeah, I don't want to AC my whole house. I'm sleeping in one room. It just, I don't know. Maybe it's just like a silly, like North America. If we can, we'll just make a bigger AC and cool the whole thing. Like I don't know what it is, but individual control of things seems like it should just be, especially where the cost is so low. It just seems like a thing that we should do more. All right, what else we got here? Joseph V says, full kit for myself, the new wife, and our cat. What all did you get? Oh, dropout, scoop bralette, bunch of stuff. Luke and Linus, as newlyweds, we'd love to know some of the hilarious quirks about your SOs that were unexpected adjustments. So Yvonne and I lived together in her parents' house for at least a couple of years before we moved in together. So there wasn't really anything unexpected, but one of the ones that drove me crazy, and that, to her credit, I don't know how she did this because old habits are hard to break. She corrected for me, is she had a habit of using approximately correct words. So she would say, put it on the floor, when she was talking about the ground. Or she'd say, I left it on the table, when she was talking about the counter. Now, English is not Yvonne's first language, even though she speaks it as well or better than the vast majority of the native speakers that I've ever met. But, so that, combined with the fact that she grew up in a non-English first household, means that there were some idiosyncrasies to her communication that make a very literal person like me very frustrated, because and that's something I've worked on too. When she says check the counter, I know to look at any horizontal surface now, but I didn't back then. And so she would say, I left it on the counter. I would go look on the counter. It wouldn't be there. I would truck all the way back to where she is. I'd be like, it's not there. And she'd come back up with me and it would be on the table. I'd be like, she's like, look, there it is. I'm like, yeah, that's the table. I didn't look at the table. That's not where you told me it was. So that took some adjustment. That's something we worked together on.
I'm good.
Fair enough. Next up. Haley says, hey, Linus, I know you don't like presents. Do you like cards?
Oh, sorry. And just to address some of the comments, no, I'm not abstaining because they're so bad or something. I'm abstaining because I don't feel like it.
He's hungry. He's cranky. He'll
I'm
get some
hungry.
food in him and then he'll want to answer the merch messages later.
Well, no, just not that one. I'm not going to
It's
like drop dig on my partner. I don't feel like I need to.
Oh, so you're
That
saying
one
I'm a
makes
bad
sense.
person?
No, I think that one
No,
makes
no, I
sense
get it.
because you
No, I get
gave
it.
you gave the English not first language thing, and there's some like she can speak really well, but there's some translation oddities between languages that might make things like kind of weird, whatever.
I got one here for you. Hey there, Goldie Twink and the Two Bears. Thank you so much,
That
Anonymous.
is so uncomfortable for so many reasons.
Luke's.
All right, sorry.
Apart from bleach blonde, what's the worst hairstyle each of you ever had?
Yeah, I can head this one up. I probably had the worst between both of us, which is quite a feat given some of the hairstyles Linus has had that a lot of the audience has even actually seen. I used to go to UVic, and those were some blunder years, if any. But at one point in time, I went to this barber shop downtown Victoria and just told them to, I don't know, do whatever. I just need a haircut. And the guy like joked with me about how like, you should probably pick something. And I was like, no. And he's like, well, we do some like pretty crazy stuff. And I'm like really not paying attention because I like actually don't care because this is what I've done all the time. And I end up just getting like very normal haircuts. So who cares, right? Yeah, I'm more specific now. He did carving. It was a barbershop where they do carving. Or at least that's what they called it then. I'm sure they call it something else now. But I had waves on the side of my head and then a star on the back. And then I had to go to my girlfriend at the time's prom because she was one grade below me. This was my first year in university, and it was mostly grown out, but you could still see it.
Hold on, let me ask this: how much was that haircut?
Not very much at all.
Okay, then that was a really cheap lesson.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he didn't upcharge me for like the carving stuff like he would normally, and. Yeah, it was like I lived in dorms at the time, so it was like a joke for a while, and then my hair grew back, and it was fine. So yeah, any crazy hair color that you may have done when you were younger, at least you didn't have a star cut into your head.
Yeah, you win.
Yeah,
You just automatically win.
yeah. So you looked like a college student dating a high schooler. Sure, we were.
He
1
didn't
year
look
apart.
like it.
Get over it.
Yeah, I mean, I've done a lot of colors and I've had a lot of like, kind of not very trendy hairstyles, I guess. But I can't say that I've ever done that. So that's cool.
I win.
How did you not notice?
Well, you started.
Okay. And you were just like, well,
What do you do now?
tell him to keep going.
Yeah, whatever. Like I thought it would be better to just like embrace it at that point. And then be like, okay, I have this like big line in the side of my head or something. I don't know. It ended up being like kind of funny. I don't know. I didn't really care. I was obviously never going to do it again, but like it didn't ruin my life or anything. Like it whatever. It didn't actually like, I was happy when my hair grew out and it was gone.
At least she still took you
But
to
it
the
was
prom
like,
with her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how happy she was about it, but it also didn't really show up in photos and stuff because
Yeah.
like the big bit was on the back.
Nice.
So like, yeah. Did the star look good? I mean,
did you ever see it?
not directly. I
back.
saw it
Yeah.
through like pictures and stuff. It was a star on the back of my head. So like by default, no. But like where the lines clean and stuff, like, yeah, he did a good job. Yeah.
Okay, let's see what else we got here. You answered the cards one, right? Maybe? I don't know.
No, I didn't answer the cards one. What was it?
Linus, you don't like presents, but are you okay with getting cards?
Yeah, sure. I like graphics cards, network cards, storage cards.
I'm going to get you a 1080 to frame on your wall.
No, I think cards are a waste of paper, and e-cards are a waste of time. Man,
What about an NFT?
remember e-cards?
I had quite genuinely forgotten, probably for years until you just mentioned it. That was a relatively short, but that was quite a phase of the internet.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just send me a text. That's all. That's, yeah. If you must, like, congratulate me on making it around the sun again.
I like sending my friends just birth.
Just the word birth.
Yeah. It feels a little less contrived. Yeah, let's see what else.
Let's see. Wet Noodle says, grandparents send me e-cards. Oh, wait, hold on. Oh, Wet Noodle says, grandparents still send e-cards to this day. Treasure it. Someday they won't.
Linus, would you be willing to ever make an appearance at a LAN-type convention like QuakeCon?
We kind of do our own, right?
Yeah, I did Fragapalooza 1,000 years ago. I met FPS Doug.
We both, that's cool. I remember that's how you got your poster signed.
Yep.
We both separately, because before we met, used to go to local lands all the time.
Yep, 100%.
But there isn't really any local lands anymore except for ours.
I don't know. It's like, that'd be cool. It'd be fun. I like going to lands, but these days, if I'm going to go to one, it's going to be like one that we throw. So I probably wouldn't like travel for it. I don't know. It's tough. It's tough. No, I'm not planning to go to PAX West. I'm not the biggest PAX guy. Luke was a big PAX guy.
It's not as good anymore. It's not the same thing.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see here.
Sorry, I was chewing. Another thing I'll say about LANs is modern LANs really need good administration of the people. A lot of modern LAN, like the PAX West LAN, used to be really fun, and now it sucks. Largely because everyone's just like sitting on social media or watching YouTube or doing something. Like they're not LAN partying. They're sitting at their computer. It's a totally different thing. And there's actually a pretty serious amount of trying to make sure everyone's engaged in doing things that happen at our LANs.
Well, I remember you talking to me about this, how you felt like over time, a lot of the BYOC seats at PAX turned into a place for people to stash their stuff.
Yeah.
Rather than a place for them to hang out all day and play video games.
Yeah, totally. That's absolutely a thing. People started prioritizing the show more, but that was like a self-fulfilling prophecy, because once some people started doing it, it impacted the quality of the LAN, which made other people less interested in the LAN, so they started doing it, and then that just kind of kept looping, and it turned into a thing where like no one was really LANing during the day, and then even after the expo hall closed, people were still just using it as like mostly a crash pad or a place to sit at their computer instead of really focusing on playing games. Early PAX LANs were sick. I think there was also some form of administration change, like the people or the person that was running it early on stopped and wasn't running it later on, and I think that had a significant impact as well. But yeah, it's not really that great anymore.
Okay, Luke.
To be fair, I never went over COVID. I haven't been in technically since 2019.
Number between 2 and 4.
That is a tough one. 4.
You know, you're just delaying the best deals. Like the better deals were at the top of the dog. These are good deals. You can get a mystery desk pad for $10.
That's an insane deal. What do you mean?
I know. Well, they're all insane. I just mean like, oh yeah, we don't have a ton of these, but it'll be up there for a little bit. Mystery desk pad, $10. Here it goes. Don't forget, free shipping on orders over $100. Free shipping on orders over. You know what? Let's do 2 deals. Let's do 2 deals. Oh God. 50% off the solid color screwdriver. There's really not a lot of these though. There's like 100.
Oh my.
And it's not all the colors. This is inventory management, the Linus inventory management experience. That's what Lime Day is. Linus, oh damn it, it's LTT. LTT, inventory management experience. We had this debate right before the show. I did it by accident. Okay, both of those deals are live. Good luck, everybody. Don't forget. Free shipping, orders over $100. Please put something profitable in your cart. Thank you. All right, Dan, hit me.
Yeah, sure. Hello, LDL. I work at a school doing tech. I really want to know the most interesting tech you have tinkered with for education. By the way, the LTT screwdriver has been used by students in install classroom projectors.
Nice.
I have not played around with education tech really very much. Like, you got to understand, when I was in high school, they still used overhead projectors to teach math. Like, I have almost no experience with smart whiteboards. And
well, I was trying to figure out how they wrote this, because it was like tech you have tinkered with for education. So is that education tech, or is that tech that you tinkered with for learning specifically?
I assumed it was tech for education. I mean, you know, data projectors have gotten a lot more affordable and a lot better. Oh my God.
Are they just gone already?
Both of these deals are going like absolutely insane. You guys are mad lads. Anyway. Oh, the drivers aren't on sale. It's the solid color drivers. Solid color screwdriver, not the black or the retro or the Noctua. It's the ones that are in the rainbow colors, and the only colors that are there are yellow and green. And if you don't go get them really, really fast, then you will not get one. Yeah, yellow and green are the only colors left. So they're both... wait. Oh, hold on. It might not have been right. Oh, okay. My sheet says $49.99, but the thing that's set up says $59.99. Some people bought it already. You know what? It was low enough. It's $59.99. Sorry. My bad. Sorry, Artie. Also, I blame whoever set up this doc. All right, Dan, we got a couple more.
Actually wrong?
Merch messages. Yeah, the doc's wrong. The doc says $49.99 discount 50%. That's okay. We threw this together at the last second. I don't blame anybody. But yeah, it's $59.99. Sorry.
Will you guys ever do throwback merch? I got some of the holographic keyboard t-shirts at one point, but they were damaged in a water leak, and I'd love to get some replacements.
We've thought about it, but I don't know. We tend to be more of a like move forward instead of move back kind of mentality place here. Nothing's impossible, but I don't think we have any specific plans right now.
I've been waiting for sweatpants and hoodies to go on sale. I've been taking advantage of the Lime Day sales all week. My question is, what do you think the future of AMD's X3D chips are?
X3D is super cool. Looking back, I don't remember a time when cache was so important to gaming.
Yeah.
Like I've never been able to find it again, but I did this really cool article on Hardware Canucks back in the Core 2 Duo, Core 2 Quad era, where there was a Pentium chip, a Celeron chip, a Core branded chip, and then like something else, an Extreme or something. And the only difference between all of them, they all had the same core count and they all had the same clock speed. The only difference between all of them, it was either 3 or 4 chips. I seriously can't remember. But the only difference was the cache amount. And I basically was like, okay, we keep getting told, hey, more cache is more better. How much does it matter for gamers? And I specifically benchmarked games. And what I found was that shockingly, even the lowly Celeron, with the same constraints, at the same core count, at the same clock speed, almost kept up. It didn't. You know, I think the happy medium was actually the like Pentium dual core or whatever it was. But I was shocked at how little it mattered past a certain point. So when AMD first pitched X3D with that very limited, outdated data set, I was like, oh, well, I wonder if everything's the same and they just add a bunch more cache, if this is really going to make a material difference for gamers. And as it turned out, it definitely did. Zen is super, super sensitive to data access latency, and adding a hunk ton of cache to it makes a big, big difference, especially in certain workloads like gaming. So I don't see X3D going anywhere anytime soon. It's obvious that it's really challenging for AMD to build. I mean, we saw this in the way that they kind of baby these X3D chips in terms of the amount of voltage they're willing to put through them. But hey, at least they're doing that instead of them dying in the field. So that's cool.
Rough.
Aside from Terry Fox, what is something about Canada you think is underrated that should be embraced as a source of pride and or patriotism?
I legitimately thought that about Tim Hortons at one point in time.
Tim
And
Hortons
now-
Oh, don't
blows.
remind
Now
me.
it's been a long time since
Frozen
I've been able to
donuts.
think that.
Tim Hortons blows so many chunks.
It's so bad now.
I'm proud of Duffin's Donuts.
Duffin's Donuts. I
That
don't
gives
know
me pride, at least in Vancouver.
I don't even know. Like, what's cool about Canada?
Tree.
Yeah, we got rocks and trees and trees and rocks and rocks and trees and trees and rocks and rocks and
But also
trees
we
and
just-
trees and rocks.
Ship them to China and then
And
buy back.
rocks and trees and trees and rocks and water, which is good.
It's
That's a real song, by the way. That is actually a real song by the Arrogant Worms,
Great
Yep.
band.
proud Canadians.
I used to like Canada more. I think Canada had more of its own culture before, and I think it has less of its own culture now. I think that's not great. Yeah, I don't know. It's pretty.
Yeah,
It's pretty. Somewhere, some places.
I don't know. I think this is probably a super confusing thing for like some people from other places to watch. I know that in America in particular, we took our kids on a trip down to Washington State, and they were a little confused that there were like American flags everywhere. They were like, "Is that like normal? Like, what's the deal with that?" And we're like, "Oh yeah, just like Americans are like hyper patriotic and stuff." And we, I think, don't get that beaten into us quite as hard. And so it's probably a little confusing for people from other places to watch us kind of struggling to think of something that we're proud of Canada for. It's not because we like hate Canada.
You
Like,
also put up Terry Fox.
Yeah.
We're trying to find something that's on the level of Terry Fox.
Yeah,
if you ask a Canadian for something that they're proud about that's on the level of Terry Fox, they're probably going to struggle.
Yeah, it's like we don't hate Canada. We obviously, either of us could leave anytime we want. So,
To be fair,
yeah,
if it wasn't for this, I'd be gone.
that's true. I wouldn't. Thinking. No. Well, I don't know. A lot of the reasons that I would stay are not necessarily anything to do with Canada anyway.
And to be fair, I wouldn't be gone because I notably dislike Canada. I actually like Canada a fair amount.
He just likes
There's just
the Nordic countries better.
certain other places that I like a little bit more. Yeah, but Canada's cool. It's just, I think it doesn't get televised as much, but Canada's been really going through some stuff lately. What gets the views on the interwebs, wherever you're from, practically, as far as I can tell, is American politics. And I think Canadian politics are even less interesting because we're so physically close to America that it just seems like America light to a lot of other people. But we're like actually really going through it right now. Financially, Canada is doing really poorly right now.
Yeah, so much of our like GDP is just increases in land value.
Yep. Which has been just ripping the population apart because no one can afford housing, and people are genuinely, seriously questioning how they're going to live literally anywhere in this enormous country because they can't afford to live anywhere. And there's all this incentive to not build enough housing and crank immigration like crazy so that the housing prices keep going up no matter what, and just like
Yep.
it's yeah, a lot of the things that we were known for and we were kind of good at, we don't even really do anymore, or it's not as much of a focus. It's Vancouver, which is close to where we live, is like literally one of the most corrupt places in all of North America. That's been reported on pretty extensively, but like money laundering and criminal finance is like realistically probably the main export of Vancouver. Racism is becoming crazy in Canada right now. I would say that it's probably growing more than I've ever seen it before.
There's
it like wasn't a thing when I was a kid, and it's becoming a thing.
There's a casino in Coquitlam in the middle of absolutely nowhere. It's in an industrial zone. They made exceptions for it to be there for
Who knows why?
some reason. And as far as I can tell, it exists only for money laundering.
Yeah.
Like it's not an entertainment hub. It's just like easy access on the freeway. It's the only reason that anything like that would be there.
Yeah, so it's like, I don't know. There's I understand it seems like kind of the whole world's going through it right now.
Sea of Names says it's a terrible casino as well, but that's not the point. The point is just that you can launder money there.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing else matters.
Yeah. I get everyone's going through it. I'm not trying to say it's necessarily worse here than elsewhere. We're just very much going through it
The
right
whole
now.
world's kind of going through it.
That's what I'm saying.
If we're
yeah.
being honest, right?
Yeah.
Like, and there's a lot of pessimism, and you know, I'm not a huge fan at this point of like taking sides in an election. What's the point, right? But what I will say is that there's a lot of problems with every option for our upcoming
Yes.
election.
Yeah.
And I think that there's a lot of fine folks down south that can probably relate to that a little bit.
I have never been less interested in an election than the one we're currently going through, and not because I think the answer is going to matter. It's because I've never seen an election where both sides were so
Flawed.
yeah. And it's like, cool, okay, so I'm like voting for lesser evil, but the lesser evil is like really bad. So cool. Like, I don't know. It's just it feels kind of tough. And I say all this while like I'm pretty sure last show I was talking about how I've been trying to actively like avoid negativity spaces on the internet and stuff. So I'm not trying to do that, but I'm just trying to be real. Like it's rough right now. I think the always online nature of modern life is really, really, really bad for people. And I think that we're starting to feel that in places that aren't even just online now. I think just the general negativity of like everyone is partially that, partially other things. I don't know, but it is what it is.
You know, this show was kind of an upper until now.
Yeah.
We shouldn't feed you on the show because clearly you're a downer. Luke,
Sorry.
low blood sugar is happy Luke, apparently.
Yeah. It's because he's not getting his chicken and rice. It's like, oh, this doesn't have 4,000 bottles of Red Frank's hot sauce. I'm sad now.
My body has to deal with
The economy is terrible.
a foreign thing. It has never dealt with this type of food. Yeah. It's only ever chicken and rice.
What is noodles?
It has a spice in it. I don't know why I imagined you're just eating boiled rice and boiled chicken.
Why the devil, Mr. Besser, are there still so many curated merch messages? I thought we were...
Oh, well, when we did the dying thing, I got another 200 merch messages. If you want to have a look at the stats page.
I see. Well, okay, cool. I'm going to do the last lightning deal then.
Okay.
I'll give no, never mind. There's actually a lame ending. I won't do it.
All right. Well, I'm going to make sure that the deal is what it says in my sheet first, and then I'll set it live. Oh, this one's pretty good. Okay. Yeah, we have a few hundred of these, but these are going to go fast. Mystery hoodies. $9.99.
Whoa.
Guys, please, for the love of all that is good, if in the name of whatever it is that you believe in, please put something profitable in the cart with these mystery hoodies. Fill it up. $100 gets you free shipping for your order. Do it. Mystery hoodies, $9.99.
I'm fine. I'm not acting. I just actually don't get it.
It's like so far below cost.
It's crazy.
That's okay. They're gonna help me out.
Are they?
They're gonna buy something else at the same time.
But like, you didn't have to go so hard. Quite genuine. I know that's like a line, but like, I don't even mean it that way. You just didn't.
I know.
If it was $5 more, I literally think nothing would have changed.
I literally intervened on this one
To make it lower?
to make it stupid.
Why?
What can I say? I'm a
what's
fan
the
of the Black
game?
Eyed Peas. We're gonna get it started.
The boots with the fur.
We need to know. We didn't
Everybody was
we need
looking at her.
now. Get us out of here, Dan.
Apple bar. Jesus.
Turn the car on.
You're locked in here with us, Luke. Let's see. Jesus. This is a real job that I have. Looking back over the amazing content that you have created, not this show, what is something you wish you could redo now that you have some notoriety, and how would you do it to be different? Okay, let's try that again. Unless you got what I was saying.
I got it. I got it.
Okay.
I don't know. I again, back to the looking forward, not looking back. I think there's definitely things that we could have done differently with a bit more planning, or you know what? Oh no, I lied. Nerd sports. I'd redo nerd sports.
Really?
Channel super fun. Yeah.
What would you change, or you just want to do it again?
I think it would be a blast to do again for one thing, but I would make it more structured. I'd make it more like a show, more like my original vision for it.
Okay, so like an external host, more that's like inflicting things instead of like you hosting it and playing at the same time.
Yeah,
Is that what you mean?
and the episode format being more clearly defined from one to the next. It was supposed to be, and it just. I'm not going to blame any one person. It was a big challenge, and we were a very small team. But I think it could have been a lot better.
Nerd Sports 2 would be sick.
And I think all of those are out of stock now. Says Flipping Chat.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
What?
He's speechless. What's going on? I'm scared.
Huh. Okay, we probably didn't have to go quite that hard. Please tell me you guys bought other things.
No, they were moving too fast.
Did you?
Because they had to race everyone else because the deal was so insane. There's people in chat that are saying no right now. And also there's someone in chat that was like, yeah, I couldn't even get through the checkout process, and they only tried to buy the hoodie. It was too cheap.
Yeah, this guy this is just a hoodie.
Yeah.
I'm going to send a mean response.
No.
Nice. Do it.
Will the keyboard pins ever come back? Why didn't you buy something else?
Yeah. Yeah. We're gonna be like one of those restaurants where like the shtick is that the servers are rude. Yeah.
Yeah. Just all of Dan's replies now are like, why did you buy more?
I need to keep working here. You're gonna get us all.
Oh no.
Why? Oh, man.
I gotta keep asking these, I think. Let's see. Hey DLL, I work in the motion picture industry. Do you think generative AI will be as big a disruption to the industry as a lot of my coworkers think? Or do you see it being like the advent of CGI?
I think it's going to be pretty disruptive. I think that if you look at the very like cutting edge original content that's coming out of Hollywood right now, like I'm going to point at something like Barbenheimer as something that clearly was different from what came before, that subverted expectations. The Barbie movie in particular turned my expectations for what a corporate sellout movie could be on their heads.
100%.
That is never going to be AI. There might be a little bit of inspiration, and AI could be a tool for facilitating more out there ideas potentially, But the execution, it's such a tight package. It's so original. It's never going to be AI. However, the like just generic, just filler material, catalog filler material, your Hallmark movies, your catalog filler material on platforms like Netflix.
Marvel stuff.
That's debatable. It's not always done well, but I think there's a high degree of handcraftedness to Marvel stories. Especially the ones that have comic books as the basis.
I don't mean the whole thing at all. I mean, as a form of contribution.
I'm thinking more like your
whole film written or done by it, not written.
Your 25% Rotten Tomatoes like rom-coms,
right?
Like that's what I'm talking about.
All of the Hallmark films ever.
Yeah, those are the ones that I really do see AI significantly replacing writing on. And like, no disrespect to the writers, I suspect it's a budgetary constraint as much as anything a lot of the time.
I think it's further out than people think, though. I think people massively discounted the hallucination issue early on and thought things were going to be here like right away. But the hallucination issue was a huge deal, and it's still a huge deal. And I don't know how much better it's gotten. Emma and I, my partner, have been playing the New York Times games recently. We don't pay for it. You get a free game of each version every day. So we play like Wordle and Connections, and I'm not going to remember the name of them. But there's one game where there's, 12 letters. So there's 3 on each side of like a square. And you have to make words out of the letters. Actually, I'll just bring it up. Give me a second. New York Times games. It would be a lot easier if I just showed you. Almost there.
I don't know if we have a way of doing this, but
why can't I?
I will say in advance that if we dig in and if there is a way to do this, and people, I don't know if we have a way to do this, but I will say this up front here. If we dig in and...
You're muted, apparently.
I am muted. And there's a lot of people who did this, and we have a way to manually undo it. If people ordered like 10 of those mystery hoodies, we're going to manually go in and change it to just one. Don't be a dick. So I saw a couple people kind of talking about that in the chat, so I'm going to have a conversation with Nick about that next week.
Cool. That was a good call. Okay.
Yeah, like that's just not, it's not cool, you know? Like, yeah, you technically can, but like if like literally 10 people just went in there and, you know, bought 40 hoodies each, that's not cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is the game. It's called Letterboxed. You have to spell words using this box. So we'll do H-E... Oh, no, you can't. Okay, so part of the game, and I think this is a big part of the reason why it has a hard time.
Oh, sorry, there's a P in there too. Sorry, I wasn't even watching. No, just kidding.
Is that you have to use a different side every time. So you could never have like a repeat letter in a word, because I couldn't pick L twice, for example. And you have to try to spell... you have to solve. See, it says try to solve in 4 words. Sometimes it's 5 words. Sometimes it's 6 words. But you have to try to solve. So you have to touch each letter.
Yeah, I get
to
it.
solve it. And you have to try to solve it in as few words as possible. We always try to beat the amount that it says to do it in. So try to solve in 4 words, and we'll try to do it in 3 or something, right?
Sure.
There was one that we were doing that was like try to solve in 6 words, and I think we got it in 4. And we were trying to see if we could do it in 3, but we were really struggling.
Yeah.
And screen. Oh, people are trying to tell me to do it. I'm not going to do the whole puzzle right now. So what I did was I used OpenAI's, because normally we don't use external tools, but I was wondering, like, okay, are we just not good enough? Could an AI do this for us? So I screenshot it and I copy and pasted, because if you click under the question mark, you can get the exact rules for the game. So I copy and pasted the exact rules for the game, pasted that in through text, and then I screenshot the square that we had, and I asked it to solve it. And I could not, no matter what, make it do it. no matter what I did. It would like pick letters from the same side repeatedly, and I would tell it that it did that, and it would be like, oh, sorry, here's your solve, and then it wouldn't actually solve for all the letters. It would leave out like half of them. I would constantly tell it like, no, you broke this rule, you broke this rule, you broke this rule, you broke this rule, blah, 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 and it just would never work. I could not get it to do it. So like, it's cool that it can pass the bar and stuff, but it still can't do everything, you know? So it's both further than I think a lot of people think and not nearly as far as a lot of people think. It has a lot of issues still, and it has a lot of issues that are going to be extremely difficult to solve and take some serious time. But then there's an incredible amount of investment that's going into it, and I do think these problems are eventually solvable. So we'll see. Yeah.
Linus, do you ever consider how many people whose lives have changed by interacting with your content?
It's easy to lose track. You know, we get our head down in the work and we get focused. But Adam actually sent me one today. He sent me an email today, a nice reminder of the positive impact we can have. And I'm going to anonymize this, obviously, a little bit. So I'm going to change it a bit so this person cannot be identified. But someone just sent Adam a message and said, I was watching your Setup Doctor video and absolutely loved it. It also moved me quite a bit. It was genuinely relaxing to see the before and after shots of all the setups, and it made me reflect on the state I've kept my own PC setup in over the years. I've only recently realized I was struggling with depression. Part of trying to grow past it was to reclaim my PC setup so I can feel comfortable again. Just wanted to thank you for doing this video. It absolutely made my day. And it's like, you never know what is meaningful to someone, right? You never know what someone's going through. And I guess if you throw enough pieces of spaghetti at the wall, eventually something's going to stick for somebody, right? And I thought that was really cool.
Hello, DLL. Linus, what brand and type of paint do you recommend for painting baseboards, trims, and walls? Any painting tips for somebody new to painting?
Just get
these a lot. Yeah.
Interior, get semi-gloss, yeah. I like Cloverdale paint, but that's just because I have experience with them. I think it's a good quality product. It's a local chain, obviously, so you probably won't be able to buy it. But
get wrecked. They're great.
Good luck with that.
I wouldn't like travel here to shop there.
Yeah, not worth it.
But they are cool. I've been there too.
Not eggshell, semi-gloss for trim.
Hi, I've been watching since Luke was slick. You've said in the past setting up a warehouse overseas is complex. Why don't you partner with local distributors? P.S. Why is the Lux bag not real leather?
Holy crap. Breaking news. Reddit is down.
Whoa.
Nice.
What?
Nice.
That doesn't happen all the time, constantly.
Upstream connect error or disconnect reset before headers. Reset reason? Connection failure.
It works on my machine.
Really?
We'll just ship my machine then.
I think he's memeing.
No, I actually have it.
Oh, yeah, no, someone else said it's working. I got a different error this time. No healthy upstream. I mean, that's the thing about whenever a site is going through trouble, is everyone will start F5ing. And that really, really doesn't help.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, I've got another one. Transport failure reason, delayed connect error 111. No, it is not up for me. The reason the Lux bag is not leather is because A, it's much more challenging to work with. Aside from the cost, it would be like a $2,000 bag or whatever. Aside from the cost, it's much more challenging to work with, and our backpack is an extremely detailed design. Like, I just don't even think we could build it out of like full, whatever's the good one, full grain leather, whatever we would want to use. I just don't see how we would do that. And number two, we were really, really impressed by the Apple leather that we used, and we were comfortable moving forward with it.
Hey, Wanda DLL, aspiring software developer here. I have constantly stressed about my code not being secure. Do you have any suggestions on how to secure your software so that you don't do a CrowdStrike? The bare minimum.
I don't know. Just keep trying to get better. ask your friends to try to pen test it if you can. Try to pen test it yourself. Look into how you would do that so that you can learn how that works, so that you can understand when you're writing stuff how that could possibly potentially work. Figure out what cross-site scripting is. I feel like that's a type of thing that a lot of newer devs would end up accidentally making a thing that could do that. I don't know.
Let's say 3 more merch messages, Dan.
Yeah.
Can do. Can do.
And then you're done?
Yeah, I want to swim tonight.
Cool.
You coming?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, I'm going to throw this one in
Look what I'm
for...
wearing.
Oh, shoot. Sorry, I was muted. 3 more merch messages, and then Luke and I are agreeing that we're both swimming tonight.
Okay, sure. I've got this one. This will be free, I guess. X-Stylist. Hair turns orange when lightened because natural undertones are exposed. Always tone after lightening. Reapply lightener in 1 to 2 days. Google hair lightening levels for appropriate toner.
I don't know, man.
Sure.
Sounds good.
I like that Luke just messed up. I'm stalling time to try and find an actual merch message
That's
to read.
probably a better storyline.
Or do you want to pick one?
Yeah, I'm probably just going to leave it the way it is. No, Dan, go for it.
I actually genuinely think the orange just kind of looks cool.
No, it doesn't.
I like it.
It looks like an amateur job. is
I
what
like
it's
Yeah. No,
I
I'm
like-
not trying to cover that up.
I like that's got a story now.
Yeah.
If you had done his hair and it was perfect, it would be, oh yeah, cool. Now it's Luke's fault and there's story. Now there's story.
The
Yeah.
spot's like white.
Yeah, you messed up, bud. Let's see. As a
that's pretty
biohacker, I wonder if Linus or Luke would ever get an RFID chip implanted in their hands.
I thought about it a few times, quite a few times.
We had a trip tentatively planned. Taryn Van Hemer, I think, was going to go. I was going to go. At least a couple other people on staff were going to go. We were all going to go down to Washington State. There was somewhere that we'd already talked to and everything, and we were all going to do it. We were going to make a video, and then COVID, and then we didn't go anywhere, and then I forgot, and then stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Linus, has there ever been a promotional stunt that dBrand asked you to do that you actually turned down? Also, any idea when the screwdriver shaft extensions will be back in stock?
Extensions will come in when they come in. I have no idea. As for dBrand promotional stunts, I don't know. Part of my thing is I think a lot of people take themselves too seriously, and I think that's part of the reason that I have ended up with a bit of a perception that I'm not a serious person because I don't take myself super seriously.
From who?
Oh, I mean community-wise. No, not from people who actually know me.
Okay.
And so I think that's where, some of the perception that this is not a serious operation or that we don't take things seriously might come from. But you know what? I don't care. I think that some people are a little too uptight about their image. I think some people I don't think anything makes me cringe harder than especially in the music scene. And I think kind of who the kind of characters I'm talking about, the people who are never pictured smiling. Crawl out of your own ass and just take a nice picture with somebody for a change. You don't have to always look cool,
It's part of the brand, though.
Also, the world is so dark and crappy. Just smile sometimes.
I can't. It's cringe. It's cringe. And so I'd rather be outwardly cringe than be cringe and not even know it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, last one I got for you then. Hey, DLL, I'm confused about gaming handhelds. Why are they all so big? Why is there no Steam Deck in Switch form factor? Thermals can't be that cool.
Thermals are that cool. It's truncated, you guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
I never know, do I just leave out the sentence? Sometimes it's funny to leave it in. Sometimes I can intuit what they're saying. I have no idea.
Yeah.
Complicated?
It's a real challenge.
No, to me, okay, so yes, it's CO because it got cut off. Yes, they mean complicated. It sounded like both of you were saying slang for cousin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What do you know about cousin slang? Anyway.
What do you mean?
Help me, step handheld.
Okay, I didn't mean that. Oh,
Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you again next week. Same bad time, same bad channel.
Bye.
Oh, there's supposed to be a warning.
Huh?
I'm supposed to get a warning when I push this because the scroll is going to be longer than 4 minutes.
Oh.
What do I do? Where's the button?
Sign up for PIA with our link. I'm just stalling for time, Dan. Buy
might be
something profitable
my
on the store.
Fault. Hold on. Okay, outro. I'm going to redo this.
Uh-huh.
Get ready to say bye again.
Dude, we sold a lot of
Let me know when.
those PTM 7950s.
Yeah.
I can't believe we discounted those.
Yeah.
Let's try that.
I wonder if that was a mistake.
Okay. Now say bye.
Bye. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was my fault. Okay, cool.
Oh, there's not even that many.
Oh,
what have you guys done? Oh my god, what have you guys done?
Yeah, he's
Why
noticed.
did you slow it down?
just hang out for a sec. It's okay.
Does it accelerate?
No.
No.
What?
It's there's a strategy going on.
Do you know how many is in the queue?
They
No.
started with 265. There's not that many anymore,
Yeah.
obviously. The Dancing Linus.
Okay.
So it lasts as long as the song now if it's past a certain amount of time. I don't remember what the amount of, or if it's past a certain amount of messages. I don't remember what the amount of messages is.
Whatever 4 minutes is.
We're gonna have to sit here for 4 minutes while this just...
I mean, you can go home.
We could not. Yeah, we could. We could.
You could just leave.
No,
that's
that's cheating. That's cheating. You can't do that.
It's not 4 minutes. Yeah, I thought it was supposed to be like 2.5.
Here, I'm gonna
or
try and do the
something.
message. Go. Thanks, Dave.
Oh wow. Oh wow.
Great start.
Hi back, Alex.
Thanks, Quinn P. Thanks, Victor M. Thanks, Jonathan K.
I'm gonna try to read one.
Wow. Good luck.
They scored. Man, a lot of people just didn't leave merch messages. Oh, and they're gone.